Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Oh, man, this is about to be a fun one. We got one line Zach Jackson, Tyvis Powell with the new hairline that's looking crisp. I saw you.
Appreciate that.
I saw you because I saw you hatless on a Columbus show. You was
the news.
Yeah, I see.
When I go on the news,
yeah,
every day
randomly I seen you on the news. Yeah. I'm like, that look like that is Tyvis. Yeah. So he got his situation.
I got to work that in my contract where I can wear the hat.
Yeah, like see, so we were sitting here talking about it, and Zach said we were sitting here talking about gym shoes, right? And I asked Zach, I said, man, how many shoes you got? You said what?
About 6 pairs.
About 6. Does that include your church shoes?
That includes everything. That includes the boots I wear to chase the dog around the yard. That includes the Nikes I wear, this pair and another pair, and then I'm not like a shoe. I'm just not a shoe guy.
I feel like I in my heart I wish I could be like you because like I believe that like as a minimalist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a person who doesn't do all that, like, for me, I'll be like, man, you must be so free in your mind. Like, you wake up and you don't have anything that's just cluttering you down.
Here's my process. My wife says you need new shoes. I say, okay. We put it off for 3 months. All of a sudden, one day she comes home, I got new shoes. That's my process.
That's crazy. Like, boom. That is like old school. That's like 1950s, man. Like,
I can't remember the last time, like, I actually needed a pair of shoes.
Oh yeah, need is a very that's need? A need. It's like the Browns draft. Need is subjective. Need.
Like about a month ago, we had to go to the mall for something. Like it was a have to, right? And so I'm letting her be. Yeah. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Right.
So I stumble into the shoe store. I look around, like I knew I needed some shoes. I looked, I didn't see anything. I was fine with it. And then about a week after that, she brought me some shoes, and I'm wearing them today.
Well, there you go. And you know what? And they're functional. They're great. They match.
They're fine.
They work.
It was right before the Senior Bowl, so it was a little bit about a month ago.
See, man. Now listen. Here's the thing. There was no. First of all, my wife. I think she tried in the beginning, and then she realized it just wasn't going to work because, she's first of all she's Asian, so. She don't know, like she don't understand none of that. She just be like, "What is those? You like those?" And I'm like, "Yeah, them ain't it." Will your wife buy you any kicks?
My wife?
Yeah,
she bought me these. This was my Christmas gift.
Oh, okay. Well, she ready to go then. Yeah. Congratulations! Shout out to her.
Do you think you will ever get to a point where you like become like a Skechers guy?
So this true story.
Or like Brooks.
Half the reason, so when I got fat and was eating a lot and doing the most, and they was like, yo, you got about to be a diabetic. One of the reasons that I decided to like start dieting was not because of my health. It was because that my feet was big and I had neuropathy, and they was like, yeah, you need to get you some comfortable shoes like some Brooks and and I said, under no circumstances. Under no circumstances. I went to the Skechers store, and they got the Skechers store, and I walked in, and I felt like it was the lowest point of my life. It was low, Tyvis. I was looking at it.
They're affordable, right? I know Steve wears Skechers. Steve, how much your shoes be?
Steve said, as you guys mentioned Skechers, Steve literally whispered under his breath, I love Skechers. So
I know he do.
Hey, listen,
I wonder how much is Steve's shoes?
Man, 2 for $20.
$40.
Man, I went in
there.
I
could buy me some shoes for $40.
I saw 7 dudes that looked like they lived in the same neighborhood as Steve, and I immediately changed my ways. Went home and was like, told my wife, we gotta fix it. We gotta fix this. Under no circumstances can I have these Skechers on.
You think people? If I walked in here with some Skechers,
oh no, bro.
You think the chat would clown me?
Bro, chat. Like me and Earl would have to talk to you behind the scenes.
Is everything all right?
You all right? You going through life changes? No. to the doctor?
So I got one pair of nice shoes. They're kind of like boots. They're brown. They're nice. I'm sure my wife got them. I don't know. You know, I wear them when I have to sort of dress up.
You don't
I'll
even
wear them
remember buying them?
No. And then I have one pair of older dress shoes that I have if I need to go to a wedding, a funeral, something like that. And you know, they're old, like 6, 8 years, maybe more. I wear them like once or twice a year, right?
Fair.
Broke in.
It's a good year when you don't have to go to many funerals or
Right,
weddings,
yeah,
right?
like.
But other than that, back when I used to work an office job and have to dress up almost every day, I would buy like some fancy-ish from Kohl's.
Yeah.
Right, they were cheap.
Kohl's.
And then when I found a pair that I liked, I would just buy the same pair. I would have 3 of the same pair.
Yo.
And the total would be $142 on those 3 pairs. I was winning.
$142 don't even
Out
get
the-
you a pair of J's
Right,
nowadays.
man, 142. You got to put something else with it. Like you got to dip into another card. But 142, like that must be the most peaceful thing in the world
It is.
because hey, you know what you're gonna wear, right?
In the summer, I wear Hey Dudes or my golf shoes, which were like $40. And then we got some imitation Hey Dudes, some high guys.
I wish
we got some
I
of
wish
those
I could
too.
get
So-
like that. Man.
Hey man, to be a minimalist, I'm working on it. McNuggets, you play basketball, so you live in both worlds a little bit. You hoop still, so you buy shoes to run around in, but we haven't seen you in no retros.
He's like a running shoe type of guy.
No retro J's for you, huh?
I got a couple nice pairs of shoes, some nice sneakers, couple J's.
You got some J's?
We ain't seen
Yeah,
them.
when I'm on the panel, I'll wear nicer shoes. But if we're just
You-
back here, like I just wear running shoes because they're more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I spend most of my money on shoes, on basketball shoes. Like I can't play in bad basketball shoes. I'm too old. My ankles aren't good enough anymore.
What are
The
you
support
hooping
has to be
in?
there.
What are you hooping in nowadays?
Right now,
Yeah.
the Sabrina 2s, best basketball shoe I've played in.
The
since
Inescos?
Tyrese. Yeah, they are. I cannot emphasize enough. I was told by a couple people on the Cavs staff, like, hey, try them out. Like, there's a reason why our entire staff and half our players wear them. They are they're the closest to the Kobe's as Nike's made.
You know what? You brought it up. I'm not gonna go down there because it's about 7 minutes already into
Well,
the
y'all
show.
need to
We
tell
gotta get to
Jared
it.
Allen to get some Sabrina 2s because he said this is the last Kyrie's he can find.
Sabrina, by the way, I want to get your question on this. Like I was watching in the YouTube time machine. People talk about how good are WNBA players, and somebody said a good high school boys team could be the WNBA team. Is that true or false?
What level of good are we talking?
I'm talking AAU.
Like we talking like Montverde Prep would have
Yeah.
6 first-round picks.
Yeah, AAU. Yeah. Type. Yeah.
Yeah, probably just based off this pure size, athleticism, they're going to beat a WNBA team. Yeah.
I think like a high school state team around here probably is, but I like a high school team that's 2 games under 500.
Yeah,
the
nah.
product I see.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right, we just wanted to get to it because I saw people going in the comment section going crazy.
I mean, like Montverde had Derek Queen, who's
Yeah.
in the running for Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg, and 6 other guys that
Oh,
went D1.
no, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no,
not a
no,
high school
nah,
team.
Like,
nah,
it's, yeah,
that's-
like those schools, they're beating D1 school. Like, those are beating
Right.
D1 men's. Like,
Man,
yeah.
if you get Tyvis in shape with McNuggets and Cooper Flagg, they getting smoked. Like that,
We're
and
getting
that's
buckets. All right,
Give me the ball in the paint.
let us dive
now.
into today's show, guys. We're going to touch on all the beautiful Cleveland sports we have with Zach in the house, with G. Bush, with Tyvis. We're going to have some lively conversations, but we're going to start with the Cleveland Cavaliers after a quick reminder. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media. You can see our Twitter handle, our Instagram handle, our TikTok handle. We are also streaming live on WKYC's Instagram today for the very first time, so shout out to the upwards of 80,000 people extra who could be watching us. So thank you. Hello, WKYC Instagram viewers. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And with that, let's get into tonight's marquee matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Detroit Pistons. On Friday, this game went to overtime. We dissected the game yesterday. James Harden did not play. Tyvis, tonight, James Harden will be back in action. Donovan Mitchell still out with a groin injury. What are you expecting in this rematch tonight from the Cavaliers and Pistons, considering the fact that Harden is back, and after the loss on Friday, an anonymous player told Chris Fedor, the Pistons aren't on our level. So there's a little trash talk. You got Harden back. And now it's at home. What are you expecting tonight from these top 4 seeds in the East?
One, I was disgusted at the loss. What type of person fouls somebody at the half court line with like 5 seconds to go? Like that bothered me, but whatever. No, I would say that whoever the anonymous source is probably right. I mean, you didn't have any of your top 2 players, and you stretched the game into overtime, which you should have won multiple times. got to hit our free throws at the end. Don't know what that's about. Evan and Craig Porter Jr., come on now. Close the game out. But outside of that, with James Harden playing as well as he did, I really didn't notice the thumb at all. He was hitting trays. He was assisting. I think he had, 8 assists, 9 boards, 20 points, 22 points. Like, he seems fine. And if he's going to give you that type of performance and you're getting guys like Evan to step up and, Jalen Tyson starting to get his feel for it and Keon Ellis is a defensive menace and you get Schroeder giving you points off the bench, like, to me, they have exactly enough to win that game. The battle is going to always be, when you're going up against Detroit, the battle is always going to be, can you slow down Jalen Duran? And I think he had he had like 30-something points. Like,
double-double.
Yeah, he had like 30
double-double.
and 16 or so. Like, Jared Allen and Evans going to have that battle down there to be able to slow him down. Because to me, he's the key to it all. I know Cade Cunningham is the star, and he's going to do his thing and all those things. But that dude right there is a problem on them boards. He does a really good job of getting down there, getting the and ones, and getting those extra points like that. They got to find a way to slow him down. If those two, if you can handle Cade and him, the rest of it is easy. It's easy money.
Yeah, my concerns with the Cavs tonight and going forward are obviously health. Now, they'll have Harden back. They won't have Donovan tonight. But, are Mobley and Allen going to keep opposing big men from going nuts on the boards? And Jalen Duren killed them last Friday. The Cavs still should have won the game without James Harden on the road. I'm struck that the Cavs are underdogs tonight. Back at home.
It's at home?
Yeah, I about fell down when I saw that. I'm a little surprised.
Might have to take that.
But look, this is a big game. This, as it stands right now, this will be a preview of the second round of the NBA playoffs, of the Eastern Conference playoffs.
I'll take that.
The Cavs should be motivated by how Friday ended. And the Cavs, if they really believe that they're on a totally different level than the Pistons, then they should come out and prove it. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is one of them joints. By the way, Chris Fedor, if you didn't know, that was from G. Bush's burner account. I was the one, _ Bushy Whacker G. That was me. So, shout out to, my burner account. So let's get it out the way. Second of all,
terrible.
You don't want to say my screen name?
So let me hear it again.
Bushy Whacker G.
How many followers?
It has 6.
You got the little egg.
It's Homer Simpson like peeking through the bushes like that. That's what So we got that ready to go. Yeah, man. Make sure you follow on Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. We got ready to go. Man. But listen, these guys definitely is not on the same level as the Cavs. JB should be very alarmed. Like when he went in and he went into halftime, or when he left after the game, after the Cavs gifted them that game, I realized and I looked at the lineup and was like, hold on. So it was Sam Merrill. It was Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder was out here running the point like he was the guy.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he like
22 and 9 or something.
He was out here like he was automatically Himothy, bro. Like, and then you had Evan Mobley who was scared to take the last shot, but that's just not his game. Anyway, and you had Daquan Tomlin.
Definitely post-faked it like 6 times.
Cade Cunningham, yeah, he was just like, it was like he was caught.
It was bad.
It was like he was glitching, like he was just like it was nasty work. But I will say, Cade Cunningham is nice for them. But the problem with the Pistons is I don't see where their second option is. Who else scares you? Like Durden is good, but I mean, is he gonna kill you? He gonna hit 30? No.
Yeah.
Like besides Cade, what else?
Well, they got Tobias Harris. They got Thompson, who's coming along, and they got Duncan Robinson, who you have to track because he will get hot. Now he will go 1 for 6, and you hope that he does tonight, right? But he also will make 4 in a row.
Yeah, you got to run him off that line. Listen, he's a monster down low. If you let him get it within 2 or 3 feet, he can finish over people. And Tobias Harris seems like Tobias Harris has been in the league, I feel, since like 2012.
Yeah.
J. Cole?
Feels more like 2002, really.
Yeah,
the sneaky thing about Detroit, though, that the Cavs got to watch, and I'll be interested to see how they do, is Cade is actually really good at rebounding. And I didn't know that.
He's a terrific rebounder.
I didn't know that. I think he had 9 boards. I didn't know that. So,
I mean,
but the thing is, if James, well, I don't know if James Harden checking him or not, but whoever's checking him has to make sure they box him.
It will not be
out.
James Harden.
I figured as much. As soon as I said it, I said James definitely ain't checking him. Yeah. But whoever's checking him has to do a great job of boxing him out because he does a great job of getting rebounds. I think he had like 20-something, 9 and 8, something like that. He's actually like, that dude was peaking a triple-double.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cavs-Pistons, so it matters, right? It's a revenge game. I mean, Sunday, I give the Cavs a pass, right? It's the hangover game, Brooklyn in the afternoon. It's between two matchups with the Pistons. Mm-hmm. You know, what they needed a big fourth quarter, a couple guys delivered. So tonight you get it home and you see Schroeder and Ellis going to both take their turns. I'm sure James Harden, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see. Jared Allen's been playing well. So you're right, Beverly didn't want that last shot.
I hope that Black History Month ain't really a thing.
This is a great 3-game stretch here, and something I'm watching in the standings. You know, right now the Pistons are the 1, the Cavs are 4. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Cavs want to be 3 because I just don't think you want Philly in the first round.
I was going to ask y'all about those matchups too, McNuggets, because it's almost like I like my matchup. I don't like Tyrese Maxey. He just gives us buckets. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you're looking at it in terms of second round matchup, if you give me the Pistons, I'm not smoothed by that. I'll take that.
You know what y'all sound like?
Who?
That's loser talk. What y'all talking about right now? Y'all trying to just stay where y'all trying to stay put. No. I want to go into the playoffs hot. See, the last time we tried to look and play the standings was JB's last year.
Right.
Remember they wanted we gonna play because we want to play Orlando in the first round. And then the Pacers, I believe, went on to play or somebody played somebody who got hurt. Every time they played somebody, they star players got hurt and they basically made their way to the finals. Like I'm
not ducking smoke.
If we are the best team in the East, it doesn't matter who they go match up against. They should be able to beat them in a 7-game series if they are who they say they are.
I ain't ducking the smoke. I mean,
that what you just said?
Nah, I mean,
I like where I'm at.
I like this matchup. I like the Pistons matchup.
Well, on that matchup, G, the exact quote that an anonymous player told Chris Fedor in the locker room was about the Pistons, quote, "They aren't in our class," end quote. That was the quote, right? When you come out and say that, and then you play them just 3 days later, 2 days later, was it Saturday, Sunday, 3 days later, you better come back it up. That's the kind of statement you make that you know Detroit's going to hear. You know JV Bickerstaff's going to hear. You understand the relationship between JV Bickerstaff and the Cleveland Cavaliers. You understand the tenacity and toughness with which Detroit plays on a night-in, night-out basis. They have the best record in the Eastern Conference. To me, tonight is a game that a regular season game is never a must-win. The Cavs better freaking show up tonight. Like, you cannot come out, Donovan Mitchell or not, and lay an egg after you make a comment like that on the road in a game you should have won multiple times, where you just make your free throws, you don't make an egregious foul, the process was right, the execution was poor, all the things that went against you down the stretch. You don't make that comment and then come out and just lay an egg. And I think tonight is imperative for this Cavaliers team to prove to itself, we can say those words, but we got to genuinely believe it too, and those words need to translate to on-court success. So I'm curious to see tonight, because Detroit's coming out with physicality cranked up to a 12 out of 10. Can the Cavaliers match it like they did on Friday? I hope they can. I think they can, but they better not wilt.
Who cares, guys? Who cares the most out of this matchup? Which locker room is like, oh, no, we got to have this?
Well, I think both of them probably think that. And I think Mike's mostly right. The one area I would say is if Donovan Mitchell's not playing, this is not the full Cavs arsenal, right? But everything else lines up. You went away, you gave away a game. You went and played a hangover game, went through the motions and won because Brooklyn's not trying to win. Now you are at home. You're facing this team tonight that you just played 4 days ago, and you know darn well that you might be facing this team here in about 2 months. It's your division rival. They're the up-and-comer. Yep. You should act like the favorite. This is a huge game. I agree, and I would love to see a big performance. Is it really going to affect my thinking or their standing? I doubt it, but I would love to see a big performance from the Cavs tonight.
Tyvis, if I look at it in 2 ways. It's almost more impressive if Donovan don't play, because what I've been waiting to see is, okay, I want that turn back the clock, James Harden. I want to put him in the mixer. Like, he get to the foul line 13 times. He hit a couple dagger threes, and he ends up with 32, 11, 12 assists, and maybe 9, 10 rebounds, right? But to me, I think it's still in there. But if he could do that and Donovan ain't playing, I'll be even more impressed with the Cavs, because it just shows me to a certain extent, y'all don't even got that.
The biggest thing that I'm looking at tonight, it goes back to Zach. I'm looking at the paint presence because Jared Allen has established himself as this guy in the paint that's getting you 20 double-doubles, 20, 14, stuff like that. And it was all fun and games when we said it's Black History Month for Jared Allen. Well, the last time they played Detroit, James or Donovan didn't play. And I don't remember what Jared Allen's numbers was. I don't know if it was great or not.
He was very good against Detroit.
The fact of the matter is we are in March, and James Harden is here, and every big that plays with James Harden, numbers go through the roof. Well, tonight he's got the big boy matchup against Jalen Durant, and I need to see him still be that same guy even in that battle. Like, I don't want Jalen to get 30 and 15 and he don't match it or be close to it. So to me, that's one of the matchups that I want to see because it's a playoff atmosphere. You're at home. It's a big game. You're underdogs. You want to win this game because you want to set the tone and show people that you're the best team in the East. And I think a lot of the offense flows a little bit through Jared Allen, and I think that he just does a really good. He's been doing such a great job that you don't really even notice the fact that Donovan's not out there and all these guys. And I think it's opening up the roles of other guys. You see Jalen Tyson starting to find his groove. Sarah Merrill hitting trays. Like, it just opens a lot of things up when he's playing well. So tonight, I want to see if James Harden can continue to keep him unleashed and unlocked in a big-time matchup against Jalen Durant.
He had 25 and 9 in the matchup on Friday, by the way.
Is he different? Because to me, when I hear him talk, I think McNuggets, after the game, he was talking with Serena, and he kind of was lamenting the fact that the Cavs didn't come out and play well against the Nets. And he said it was just one of them games, but we got to do a much better job of being pretty much locked in. And for the first time, I don't think I've ever heard him take a stance where it's like he was not joking. He was dead serious. And it was almost like, yeah, like we were trying to get to somewhere, and we need to be able to be better than this against a team we should beat. Is this fool's gold, or has he changed his MO in like a year?
You need to come back with them straight backs, I'm telling you. Braid the hair.
I mean, because if you look at it, not only that, but I feel more comfortable with Jared Allen catching the ball within 5 to 10 feet than I do Evan Mobley. And I would have never told you that in my life.
Right.
Ever. It's just like he has touch.
Why would you not, though? He's always been good around.
Nah, not like this, though. And my tripping McNuggets, not like this,
though. His numbers is pretty identical to what
he's
they've always
playing
been.
better lately, but he does have the third highest field goal percentage in the history of the NBA, and it's basically on par with what he's doing this year. From 5 feet and within, he's always been really efficient. The difference is he's getting the rock more. And
That's
Zach,
it,
I don't know what
yeah.
you see in here, but when you feed a big I'll try to make a football comparison to you. And Zach, tell me if this is way off, right? If you have a really fast Keaton Mitchell, right? We'll use the example of Baltimore running back, super fast. He could have 3 carries for 82 yards, or he could have 3 carries for 6 yards. And it just depends on the amount of touches he gets until he breaks one, right? Jared Allen's going to put up 25 points if he gets enough touches in the pick and roll where he's catching the ball within 7 feet of the basket without a decision to make, and it's just go up and shoot, go up and score. But when he's not getting the ball fed to him in those positions, and he's not a focal point of the offense, he's just a floater. Like, they're not using him in the offensive action other than as a screener, and they're still not even running offense for him. It's just Harden makes a committed decision to read the defense, and the defense so far has been, all right, James, you're not going to be the one to beat us, which is why his scoring was averaging 26 per game in L.A., down to 19 points per game here in Cleveland. Why? Because they're blitzing him in the pick and roll, and he's saying, I got a guy who's making 70% of his shots on the roll. I'm giving him the rock every time. Zach, I don't know if that football made any sense
It
whatsoever.
did to an extent. I mean, I think James Harden obviously going to have to get more than 19 tonight without Mitchell. But,
Yeah.
Allen was putting up big numbers. When you just look at the numbers, go back to even a month before the Harden trade. Like, he's been putting up the numbers. 2 problems. One, it's not about those numbers. It's about the numbers 2 months from now. It's always been about the playoff failures with Jared Allen.
Yep.
Right. And then the second thing is, if Jalen Duren's also getting 34, 15, that's not good. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
You
I mean, obviously on a night that Harden and Mitchell are both out like last Friday, they need more out of Jared Allen. But in general, he's there to rebound. Just be in the way.
The thing there's still something there. And even when Mobley is moved down a notch, I give it to Ty, but he said this. He said he's moved Evan Mobley from a unicorn down to a focal point. Now he's at an X factor.
Yeah.
And I think you're spot on with the X factor conversation, because if Evan Mobley is a guy from game to game, you turn on the game, you don't know necessarily what you're going to get.
No.
But if you get a good Evan Mobley where he's active, he's knocking down some of his open shots, maybe a 3 or 2, maybe he's aggressive and his rebounding numbers are over 9 or 10, the Cavs got a really good chance of winning that basketball game. But there are times where Donovan will get it going, Sam Merrill will get it going from beyond the arc, and even James Harden is getting it going kind of on a pick and roll with Jared Allen, and it's kind of like Evan Mobley is kind of just there. I mean, I don't know how the Cavs can get him to a point where I just want a blueprint for him. I want something, even if it ain't really too much of a focal point. Like if you look at another player and you say, if you just rebound and give me 12 rebounds, that's what we want from you. Or, hey, Evan, if we want you to be a dominant role guy, if you catch 2-3 lobs, that's what we want. Or if you block 3-4 shots. I just don't think he has a defined role right now, which is weird.
I mean, he doesn't. It is worth noting, and although I'm going to say something good and bad at the same time.
Okay.
He was bad against OKC. He still looked kind of hesitant against the Knicks. He sat out the game. He's played the last 2. He's coming off his second calf strain. He's still trying to figure out his way into this offense, as the Cavs, by the way, are still figuring out their offense. In his last 2 games, G, he's averaging 20 points, 12.5 rebounds, shooting 55% from the floor, 40% from 3, 2 assists, and 2.5 blocks per game.
Did he just have...
You got to hope that this is a continued progression of him getting healthier and healthier, and then he can figure out how to get in. Trying to get the rust off, shake the rust off, while also playing a brand new offense, I think it's just going to look a little wonky for a little bit. Now, I was this high in Evan Mobley. My stock is dropped. I'm not debating that part, but I'm not also going to write him off because he's trying to figure out how to work his way back into game shape in a new offense that has totally new spacing and principles that did not exist prior.
Did he have a game where he hit like 4 threes?
It was against the Hornets, right?
Detroit.
No, I'm about to say
He was
this
4 of 8 from
recently.
3 versus Detroit.
So maybe this is just me. So if I was talking to Evan Mobley, I would just say, listen, hey, if you can give me 12 rebounds. I want you to get 12 rebounds a game.
Mobley?
Yes. Forget the rest of this. Give me 12.
Ooh.
I need 2 blocks from you too. I need 12 and 2. Anything else that comes from that besides that?
12 boards?
12 rebounds and 2 blocks. If you concentrate on that, if you give me 14, 15, maybe he hit a 3, that's great. But I think if you give him something to focus on.
The matchup matters for him when you talk about 12 rebounds. Because if he checking, I don't know, a stretch 4, he ain't going to be down there.
Yeah.
Also depends a lot on how many one big lineups they play versus 2 big lineups.
Well, I think you guys are both right. I think that maybe the overall ceiling or the overall role has come down. I think probably the new offense, it takes time and he hasn't been there. But also, isn't this why the Cavs made this trade? Like more on James Harden and less on Evan Mobley?
Yeah. I think that they made that assessment.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like, okay, we know what Darius Garland is. We were banking on Evan Mobley a little bit, but we feel like the ceiling is a little lower.
Right.
So now we need a bona fide dude that can get it. Now, the question is James Harden, because I said Rockets James Harden. Is James Harden in a playoff series? Does he still have enough in the tank that can give you, if Donovan ain't working, can he give you a 32? And does he understand the time that needs that?
I don't think it's really been a moment where Donovan wasn't working.
Yeah, in the postseason.
Like, Donovan has been lights out. The problem with Donovan, the only issue I've ever had with Donovan in the postseason is he don't trust his other teammates.
Well, he trusts him.
That's why I'm curious
that's
to
why
see
the
what it
trade
looks
was
like.
made. Yeah.
Oh, he trusts him. So
It was to the point where he like, I'm going to just take every shot because y'all, I don't trust y'all.
You're going to win a street fight 6 or 7 game series. Your bigs have to have big games and have to not dominate the paint, but at least not get bullied and win. But the ceiling of the Cavs is the 2 guards. It's Harden and Mitchell, right? And it's a 50-point game here, but it's just steadily being good, playing off one another, and then every now and again that James Harden game, and I think it's still in him for sure.
McNuggets, let's get it done, man. Shout out
Should
to
be fun. 7 o'clock, Rocket Arena. Be there, be square. Guys, we're going to pivot to the Browns. We did a little Keon Ellis defensive breakdown on the YouTube channel. It's up right now. We're going to talk about it later in the show as well, but I did a little telestrator demonstrations on the Ultimate Cavaliers show. Stevie, take the graphic, please, whenever you want. Thank you very much. On our YouTube page, it is there. It's 5 plays, broke it down. We're going to talk about it on the show too, but it is also an extended version on our YouTube page. All right, guys, let's talk a little football. Zach, last week you mentioned Anthony Richardson as a possibility for the Browns if they look to make an addition to the quarterback room. Well, yesterday you were joined by one Matthew Berry, who reported, and I quote, "The Colts are expected to move on from Anthony Richardson, and a potential landing spot is Cleveland, where Todd Monken, who spent the last few years coaching Lamar Jackson, could try and develop Richardson's considerable athletic gifts." Zach, like I said, you were the first to mention a possible tie between Cleveland and Richardson, and you didn't even necessarily report it, just said it makes sense. Now that some other people are putting point A and point B together, where do you feel like the Browns stand on the Anthony Richardson decision? And what would you give up if he was available to acquire the Colts quarterback?
Well, I've always been a leader, not a follower. In an imperfect and totally open situation, this is a near perfect fit. Anthony Richardson is signed for 1 more year. Anthony Richardson has crazy athletic gifts. Anthony Richardson was forced to play too early. He is younger than Shedeur Sanders. He can chuck it down the field. He's big and fast, and he knows his career is at stake because he's only signed for 1 more year. He's going to be available for somewhere in the neighborhood of a 5th-round pick. The Browns still have 2 of those, even after yesterday's trade. The Browns have a situation where it's an open competition with Shedeur as the leader right now. Why not bring this guy in? Why not give him a chance? We don't know what 27 brings. We don't even know what the start of 26 brings. But why not, at this price, give a guy a chance to come resurrect his career as you're building a new offense, as you're looking for that skill set? I mean, I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but we know Todd Monken wants a mobile quarterback. We know Anthony Richardson's played a little. Matter of fact, I think he started more pro games than he did in college. Mm-hmm. Still young. Uber, like, we're not talking about a little bit athletic here. We're talking about 245 pounds, big dude, big shoulders, chuck it down the field. Like, of all the risks you can take and all the maybes and all the in this quarterback class, like, this guy is near the top, and he is going to cost nearly nothing, whereas Malik Willis is going to cost a bunch.
When you phrase it like that, I think it makes a lot more sense than what if you just look at it on the outside looking and be like, Richardson, right? When you actually start to talk about it, Tyvis, and you listen to what it may cost, and you listen to the contract, and you listen to, all right, if you asked yourself, are you more intrigued with Dylan Gabriel or Anthony Richardson?
I'd be more intrigued with which one would I be more intrigued with?
Yeah.
Depends on the offense I'm running.
Give me Anthony Richardson.
Depends on the offense. It depends on the offense.
Give me Anthony Richardson. So if you told me, all
I'm
right,
running Ty Monken's offense, to give me Anthony Richardson.
Well, you're running Todd Monken's offense.
So
it makes sense.
If you want to upgrade the floor of the room and you say, all right, well, I got Anthony Richardson. He's going to cost me a 5th-round pick. It's Minimowski. He has 1 year left on his deal. He'll be motivated. He did run a ridiculous 4, I don't know, whatever he ran, right? Mm-hmm. I think he ran a 4.4.
He broke the combine quarterback testing record.
Yeah.
Basically everything he did.
Right.
So he has a big arm, and I always thought that, when you go back and look with Anthony Richardson, in terms of if you thought that you were going to bring Anthony, say, for instance, you weren't bringing nobody else in, and you say, Anthony Richardson, we're going to bring him in for a 3rd-round pick, and he's my starting quarterback, I would be like, that's not going to work for me. I need something else. I need some other people in the room to even get him to that point. But if you're telling me it's for free and he's going to come in with 1 year left on his deal, how much would that, in terms of the cap situation, how does that factor into?
His base salary is the absolute minimum for a 4th-year player. Now, he does have a roster bonus because he was a top 5 pick, but he's very manageable.
So it's Minimowski.
It'd be under $5 million.
So
get him signed for a year with the motivation that he is looking for a bigger contract.
What's the difference between him and Taylor Green?
Well, first of all, they're about 6 months apart in age. Taylor Green stunk for 3 years in college. Anthony Richardson's already been in the NFL for 3 years. But they're very similar in their athletic profiles, but they're nearly the same age, right? So Richardson's ahead there. Age does not matter a ton at quarterback, right?
No,
I think it matters more
not really.
at the other positions. But this is what you're pointing out. Anthony Richardson came into a situation where he didn't have the right support. They drafted him too high. They played him too early. He was immature himself. He made some mistakes. He had never struggled before. He didn't bounce back the right way, right? Then he got hurt. He had the freak injury last year. He got replaced. He didn't handle it great. He says, I need a fresh start. The Colts have all sorts of cap issues. They want him to get a fresh start. So the only reason that the Browns don't make sense here, to me, is if the Browns are getting Malik Willis, or if Anthony Richardson and the Colts said that he would rather go to a spot where he knows he's going to be a backup and relaunch his career that way. And I don't know, because the Colts, obviously you would think they would work together on finding the ideal trade situation, but they don't have to, right? Like the Colts hold the cards here. He can request a trade and he knows he's not in their plans, but the Colts kind of hold the cards here. So if they work together, which a lot of organizations try to do in this situation, I don't know. And he might come here and be the backup. It might not work out.
Right.
But when you look at this, and here's the ceiling outcome. Say Shador's good. Say the Browns are decent and Shador's having a good year and the defense is good and you're playing relevant games. This is your fourth down red zone quarterback. This guy's 245 pounds.
Yeah, you know what? You think of it like...
The problem with it all is the Vikings is the only one that really believe in him, because Kevin O'Connell said that to him, and that's probably the place that he would want to go, and I think they probably...
He believes
But let me counter that. Everybody thinks, and I think the Vikings need to stick with J.J. McCarthy.
I agree.
Right? They drafted him high. They
agree.
don't have a GM right now.
Yeah.
Give him
So the
another
way
year.
to supplement him is with Kirk Cousins or Geno Smith, someone who's done it, someone who's been around, who can come in and coach him up and play to a certain level if you need. I just don't think there's room for Anthony Richardson there, right? Like, whereas here, it's an open competition, and he can jump in it.
Yeah, I think, to me, I'm not the craziest fan of Anthony Richardson, but I've always said this. Like, if you believe Shador Sanders is good, if you believe that, like, he's a guy that could be a potential quarterback, I don't think that, like, Shador Sanders would be – you shouldn't be scared of Anthony Richardson. Like,
No.
Because if –
He should beat Anthony Richardson out every day and
Like-
twice on Sunday. My only issue with Anthony Richardson is, because I actually brought this up I brought it up like a month
Actually,
ago.
you did.
And people looked at me like I was crazy when I said I wish the Browns should go after Anthony Richardson. But my only issue with Anthony Richardson is he's been the same quarterback since high school. You look at his high school completion percentage and numbers, the same as college, it's the same as the NFL.
Yeah.
This is who he is. Like,
Right.
it is what it is.
So the downside is he's forever a 50% passer. And he's not
Yeah,
gonna
like,
do
it is what he is.
The upside is he helps you win a game even if he's not great.
Yeah, if you want to be a gadget, because here's the thing, we kind of mentioned this. Have you guys seen Deshaun Watson running?
I did see the video of him
I did.
yesterday
He rolled.
doing a running back.
He rolling? He got the zip on the ball, man. I seen that already.
He ain't rolling.
Okay, but he moved. He picking them up and putting them down.
It's not Limp Bizkit. It's more along the line. See, you guys were supposed to laugh more than that.
I
That
gotta
was
see.
crazy.
I gotta see what he posted on his Instagram.
Yeah, he was doing some cuts laterally, but you could tell he still got about 2-3 months left.
He was doing a running back drill. Let's just call it what it was.
Yeah, it was a running back
And
drill.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it was a running back drill.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of video where Deshaun Watson looks great. It's in 2020.
This cat Zach. Hey, that 2020. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen. Let me tell you something. Because listen, I told you the 4,500. Sometimes I go back just to watch it, just to see if I was crazy.
Right.
Just to see if I was nuts. Like, to be like, man, this dude was literally a top 3 quarterback, man, and he was doing whatever he wanted to. It still baffles me to this day that when they signed Deshaun Watson, you couldn't have told me that we wasn't about to go to at least the AFC Championship game.
Sure. That's why they did it. It was time to raise the level.
And the injuries is one thing. I will say this with Anthony Richardson. If it's buy low, all right. Bring a 5th round pick, bring him in. Let's compete. And you do, I do like this too. I'm a project stockpile guy. I mean, if you want to bring him in to run Wildcat, you want to bring him in on a goal line, you want to bring him in on the gadget play, who knows? My thing is, and I've always said this, if Todd Monken wants to do it, I'm going to roll what Todd Monken's talking about.
I agree. The new head coach should have incredible input, if not the most important input, on any quarterback decision.
Right.
And like you just said, the stockpiling, go back to last year, what'd they do? First day of free agency, traded a fifth, Kenny Pickett. A month later, spent no money, $4 million on a veteran quarterback, and then made the worst third-round pick in history, and then added a guy in the fifth. So that's where they were doing. So why wouldn't you add a fifth here for a guy that there's a ceiling, and if it doesn't work, it costs you a fifth.
And if it do work and he looks decent in the preseason game, somebody say, hey, we need a quarterback.
And if it works to an extent with him or Shador or some combination of, your future is still open.
Right. It don't cost you nothing. I think that. Do you think this is more viable than Malik? I think it's definitely more viable than Malik Willis. I mean,
y'all know how I feel about that.
Yeah, like that.
Well, it's trains going on two completely different tracks.
Yeah,
Malik Willis is your quarterback.
Yeah, like
Anthony Richardson is in your competition.
Yeah,
and we'll see.
Yeah. Now,
also the price drastically different. You're looking at 20 to 30.
Price drastically different going forward. Price not much
yes.
different in 2026.
Yeah.
Well, not just mean the asset.
But yes, huge commitment going forward.
Yes.
But you're saying we got it right.
I am so
interested
to see how next year works with this Malik Willis thing. I am.
Where do you think he's going? Because I really don't know, and I spent the week in Indy.
I have no idea,
people.
but I keep telling everybody the only place that makes sense for to pay the money that he's getting is Miami because of the head coach and the GM. They're the only ones that actually seen him every single day.
That's right. But their cap situation's so bad.
It's
Half
terrible.
about to call you back to play. You're going to be covering kicks for the Dolphins instead of taking bad calls after the Browns.
They got to figure out that
this reminds me of a little bit of something. I was looking around and I was like, all right, where does this remind me of? I haven't seen where a guy played as little as he did that is talking about getting this money.
Matt Flynn.
Flynn. Same team with the Packers. He went to the Seahawks, got a bag of money. They drafted Russell Wilson in the third round.
Out, right?
Never even got beat out, never even touched the field.
Did Matt Castle play a lot for the Patriots before he went to the Chiefs?
Yeah, he played one full season. Brady got hurt in September.
Right. They went 10. I think they
But
went,
he got
won
paid.
10 games.
But the Chiefs paid though, or did he just get traded there?
No, he played all. He's played 15 starts, 10-5 that year, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks, and the Chiefs signed him to a big contract.
Brady got hurt week 1.
Yeah,
but that'd be the second closest thing outside of Matt.
That I can think where you take a look at him,
and that was a disaster too, wasn't it?
I think there's in this 25 years, this century, there's 8 guys I think that got drafted in the first round with fewer than 20 college starts, and except Kyler, they've all failed. And that's Anthony Richardson, that's Mitch Trubisky, right? That's Mac Jones. He failed at his first spot. Experience matters. Less than 20 career starts.
Ty Simpson fits that profile.
Ty Simpson fits that profile. So spinning it forward, like it hasn't happened for Anthony Richardson. Kyler's been up and down. It did happen for Mac Jones. But you're right, as far as like this few NFL starts, and he is the clear-cut number one, and somebody's going to make him the guy, like there is good tape, but it is only 3 games the past 2 years.
Ty, I found the comparison, and it's coming from a Green Bay team again. It's Matt Flynn.
That's what we just said.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah, Matt
I thought you guys said.
Where you been at? We started off with Matt Flynn.
I was looking something up. I just must have missed Matt Flynn. My apologies.
Yeah, it's definitely
Matt
Flynn.
Flynn's the closest comparison for sure.
Yeah, definitely Matt Flynn.
How many games did Matt Flynn play that year?
The year before he signed with Seattle, he threw 50 passes. That's it. 1 start, went 1-0, 518 yards, 6 touchdowns.
You say
2
he had
picks.
one start, 1-0?
1 start, 1-0.
Oh, his agent is a beast.
Hey,
Hey, I wouldn't do no business with Green Bay. They fleecing.
Malik Willis completed 79% of his passes last year, but he didn't even throw 100 passes.
That is another part of it. How much is during this part of the season? We talked about Cardinal Tate and how his agent was like, oh no, listen, we can't have that 4-5 run. It's like how much is this conversation agent based, and how active are they during this period where it's money to be made or broken, right? Especially with the combine and free agency. Do they do a bunch of talking to these people?
Yeah, I think right now that Malik Willis and his agent know where he's going because that deal would have been done behind closed doors last week at the combine, right? And that's why my alarm gets raised when I hear somebody come out and say, well, the Browns are probably not in on Malik Willis. Because it's like, did they hear that they're just not in? The decision's been made?
Right.
Or are they just kind of subtly putting out there that we're still on the doorstep? You didn't let us in yet, but we're still on the doorstep.
We open for business. Come on and talk to us.
When we left the 2022 Combine, right, I left knowing the Browns were on one of two teams that was going to get Amari Cooper. But the other thing they put out was we're good with Baker Mayfield. Like, he is our quarterback. Stop the speculation.
Yeah.
And everybody came home for 5 days and went through their last meetings, and the next time the Browns were seen was in a meeting in Houston with Deshaun Watson. So that's how it goes.
And you know what? The Browns, I don't know. Like, we could talk about draft later on in the show, but, when you talk about the Browns, I have no clue. When it comes to draft stuff, they could do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And
I'll put it like this. I hear both of you guys.
They're going to trade back 100%.
I hear both of you guys, and I hear everybody that says that they're just not ready for Malik Willis. That's too much to commit to him, right? But has this not been a 3-decade search for a starting quarterback?
Yes.
And he is a starting quarterback. I think it's arguable because he's only been
What
there.
I just don't understand is, what is the biggest difference between him and Shedeur? I feel like you got that same thing on your roster.
He's much more athletic.
As far as
and
mobility.
He's probably a much better deep ball thrower, too. Probably.
I mean, that's one of Shedor's strongest
I don't know
suits.
about that, though. See, like that, I don't know.
That's one of his strong. I
don't know.
I don't think we've seen enough play enough football
That's what
to
I'm
make
saying.
like
I
that
don't know about that.
He
played. How many games did Malik Willis play last year?
He started 2.
One start. 3 appearances.
See, that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing.
3 starts in 2 years.
So he's had, and they got 6 starts total?
6 starts total, yeah. 3 before the Titans gave up on him, and 3 in 2 years.
And this is what these stats right here.
That's his career stats.
Career stats. It says right on the graph.
You got to be kidding me.
I can't do it.
I feel like I don't know about that.
Like
man.
this,
I just
like
don't
this,
know.
right?
I don't know.
It's more the situation where you go into, like, you go to a car dealership, right? And they got this beautiful, it look good, right? And they like, yeah, man, we got this for the low. And you're like, okay, how much is it? They're like, man, we gonna give you this Audi. You're like, oh man, Audi? How much you gonna charge me for it? I give it to you $5,000. I'm out of here. You like, well, let me see the Carfax. We ain't got none. What you mean you ain't got the Carfax? The last owner? What was going on with the car? It say it got 3,000 miles on it. I said, hold on. You in the 2020s, and it's 3,000 miles, ain't no Carfax, and you want me to? You looking at it like something? It's too good to be true. I can't.
Zach, you commit? How much?
I'm just presenting it to you like this.
How much is he demanding?
It's going to get about $40 million guaranteed.
You okay with that?
So let me put it to you like this. This has been a 3-decade search for a starting quarterback. And 4 years ago, they were willing to give up 3 first-rounders, 2 other picks, and $230 million fully guaranteed at $45 a year for a guy. And now this guy's available for $40 total. And you don't have a quarterback because that one failed, and you don't know what your quarterback situation is, you wouldn't do that?
But the other
tell me the Browns are out.
But the other dude had a track record.
That's what
he was top 3. He had a track record. This guy don't, like, for me.
The other guy was available for reasons.
Yes,
this
reasons.
Guy is available because he's peaking at the right time. That's the difference.
But it's so unknown.
It is unknown.
And I'm not even saying like he would fit.
But every other option is unknown.
He would fit what Ty wants to do. I give you that part. But I don't know, man. Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in that room.
But man, relatively, is it? It's a lot of money.
When you say it's 40
if there's one team in the NFL that every penny is imaginary, it's the Cleveland Browns.
Total or $40 million?
$40 million guaranteed.
Total.
$40 million guaguaranteed on a
2 years.
the contract value.
That's
65,
not terrible
70.
at all.
Yeah.
For a starting quarterback, that's
correct.
It's a
3-year deal, 40-some million guaranteed.
Me and Ty, see this.
I just feel like I don't know. For some odd reason, I feel like you got that on the roster.
Me and Tyvis, we've already this is a great conversation. It's fun. I already told you 1,000 times who I think will be the quarterback week 1. I think Shedeur Sanders has the inside track. All right, so let that.
I think Shedeur does have the inside track.
So we all think that. Let's sit that to the side. All right, if we was all businessmen, right, and we was approached with these two things, I would sign out. I sign off on Richardson. Because if you tell me,
Look at them like stocks.
yeah, I'm looking at it like stocks. I'm like, okay, well, Malik Willis is this, but Anthony Richardson is younger than him, right? Anthony Richardson has played more in the league than him, right? Mm-hmm. He went higher in the draft than him. He's bigger, he's faster, he has better physical traits, and I could get this guy for a 5th-round pick and $5 million, what it's going to cost me, or I could take a flyer on this guy, and he has only played 6 games in 2 different teams. 6 starts.
4 years. Yep.
Low risk, high reward. Give me 5. I'll take 5 over 2. Would you sign off on Richardson over Willis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also say the bigger the risk, the bigger the check.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's 2 totally different paths, because if you get Willis, that's your starter, you're going forward one way. If you get Richardson, he's coming in competition. He's probably second in line behind Shedeur when you're on the field in May, right? Then you've got your fallback option. Right. It's only signed for 1 year. Richardson's only signed for 1 year. And basically everybody's starting anew because it's a brand new offensive staff.
I think
brand new offensive line.
I think the biggest problem, I think the biggest way or issue that I'm having with the whole thing is 2 paths. If you go with Shedeur and or Anthony Richardson, if it doesn't work, you look to next year's draft.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If you go with Malik, that's your guy.
That's right.
Like, no matter if it's good, that's it. No matter good or bad, if he don't look good this year, it don't matter. He's still going to be the guy.
What would the level?
That's a problem to me.
What would the level of commitment be to him?
I got to be able to hit the eject button.
In terms of, if they do bring Malik Willis in, that's at least a 3-year experiment, right?
Yeah, like his cap numbers in 27 and 28 would be really big. Next year it would not be.
I'm scarred.
You would push that, but you would say this is our starting quarterback for at least the next 2 years.
No matter what.
No, pretty much no matter what. Unless something happens, it goes sideways and Shedeur continues to develop.
Yeah.
Then that's another problem. You tell me bring this man in for $40 million and Shedeur.
Well, right. There's all sorts of things. You drafted a guy 50 spots ahead of Shedeur last year. He's still on the team right now.
Yeah, listen.
There's just too many mistakes.
Deshaun Watson is going to be on the team because they cannot afford to cut him. So this is an imperfect situation.
And this is what I'm saying. Are you just going to keep making it worse?
What are you supposed to do? Sit and watch these guys try to play?
Yeah.
Watch Dylan Gabriel try to play?
Listen, this is the problem, Zach. They've made a
made
bad decision, and they don't want to lay in it. You gotta ride the thing out. It is what it is.
Like
the whole
but you
room
can't
is
lay in
up.
it. They fired the coach. They said we're not laying in it.
I understand that part.
I actually there's consequences.
There should have been other consequences too, but that's a whole nother story.
But they haven't.
I do believe. Here's the thing that does compound that.
They basically said this whole thing is because of Paul DePodesta and Kevin Stefanski. That's what they tell me.
I look at it from this standpoint. Shedeur Sanders is a lottery ticket, get out of jail free card.
Yes.
If Shedeur Sanders hit, we won't even talk about Deshaun Watson's contract because he minimized it for what they gave up to get him and developed him, right?
Yes.
But if you say bring in Malik Willis, right, that compounds the failure of the Deshaun Watson because now you would have Deshaun Watson on the hook for how many million for this year? 80?
His number this year is going to be reduced to 40.
Okay, so
they'll have about 90 for the next 2 years.
Okay, so you got dead cap hits for that. Then you would hit yourself for another quarterback that has, in the next 2 years, that cap number is looking crazy.
Correct.
And you would have to commit to him as the quarterback moving forward. So you probably couldn't move him. So you would compound the situation more, and it takes away money and resources that you would probably have to use in order to make the team better, to prop up said quarterback if he's decent, right?
Yeah. You would have to hit in the draft.
But you have 3 of the top 40 picks, right? And if you have your starting quarterback, then you're not even looking there. You're saying, how can we? And you just traded for a starting either right tackle or right guard yesterday.
Now we will talk about
this.
And
a multi-year commitment.
We will, yeah. Is he going to talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna. It's in 2 topics. So you want to get to our next topic?
Because he does say something as we pivot forward that I do think is trading for guys and putting them on the books. I think does make it more flexible for the Browns to do things other places.
I think
we're gonna put a ball on it. Your thoughts
with this.
Okay.
I need to know who was responsible for why the quarterback room is the way it is currently, and who is making the decision moving forward. That is the
fact that there's
that is my issue. Was it Kevin? Is it a scout? Is it AB? I need to know that because to me, they can't be involved in this decision.
Oh, they are.
That's a problem.
The owner is never going away.
That's a problem.
The owner ain't going to wait.
Listen, Jimmy, love you to death. Thank you for my checks. If you are the reason, like you got to fall back on this one. Like you got to sit this one out. Like this is a pivotal moment in the Cleveland Browns history right now. If you make this decision to go get Malik Willis, that's potentially another 3 years that could be like.
Listen.
Well, then again, when does the stadium do? Ready?
29.
3
more years.
If
it plays into the plan.
Well, listen, man. Zach, listen, if you as an investor, try to be savvy. You can sell me on Richardson. You can sell me on.
Sure. That's a very sensible plan.
That's a very. Hey, listen. That's a penny stock. Hey, I put a couple dollars in it. It's a hedge fund, whatever. They pink sheets, whatever. But this right here, they asking me to do a prospectus on Malik Willis, and I'm like, all right, well, let me see the financials, and they say, well, we only got financials from 24, and it was last half. I said, well, how much you want to invest?
Can I see
40
that?
million?
What does
Can I
this
see
team
that
do?
career graphic again between Shador and Malik?
Yeah.
All right. Shador has started more games than Malik.
He's thrown more passes than Malik.
That's amazing to me. Like, that is amazing.
I get so like to me. Go ahead. Oh, man.
That's.
Hey, buying a lotto ticket. Which one do you believe in more?
That's pretty much what it is.
That's what it comes down to.
That's pretty much what it is.
I got the one lottery. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Shador, what was Anthony Richardson's QBR?
Not good. His completion percentage is barely 50%. Richardson's thrown more career passes than both guys.
Okay.
That's
and the problem. And now listen. Here's the part.
Incredible.
The Richardson conversation. The only part I got with this is this. I don't. Everybody's young. They make mistakes. But man, it's hard for me to get over that you tapped out, bro. Like you were in a game.
That's on his coach, man.
And
I keep telling everybody that's Shane Steichen's fault. He should have called time.
McNuggets. He tugged his jersey like it was.
No, he tapped his helmet. That's what he did.
But it was like this. Give me a blow, and I'm like, whoa.
They should have blew the time.
Like you should have called timeout and said maybe
you ain't coming out this game. You can take this 5 minutes on this commercial break and get back in. I can't let you come out.
He should have actually retroactively for his PR staff. He should have said I was feeling a little confused. I had a concussion. I didn't even know it.
Right.
He should have
call that trainer.
Yeah, right. Blue tint. They called the train. Yeah, man. Listen, I just had to do that. I'm just confused. Who's the president? JFK. I don't know. Yeah, like you got to just throw something out there, McNuggets. But that's the thing that sits with me is he tapped out a little bit, and Cam Newton will tell you when he said he was tired a little bit. That rolled with him the rest of your career. When you are the quarterback of a team, that takes a little bit to get over. But
Cam Newton had a team that had an unbelievable run, went all the way to the championship. And the only thing, if you bring up Cam Newton, the number one thing people remember about him is the fact that he didn't dive on the fumble.
Yeah, like that.
That's all. That's the number one thing that people talk about.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next topic, guys. A quick reminder, the Cleveland Charge back at home after a 2-week road set. They're playing right now. It's their elementary school game. They are currently beating the Windy City Bulls 62-44 with a minute left before the half. They're also at home on Friday. Head over to clevelandcharge.com for all your Charge ticket needs. All right, guys, Todd McShay, who we have referenced quite a bit on the show, was doing his post-combine podcast yesterday. And he said the guy that has moved up draft boards the most since the combine, to no one's surprise, is Ty Simpson, the quarterback. That's what always happens to quarterbacks. Now, he's going to mention Cleveland in this clip, we're not talking about him coming to Cleveland in general. We're going to do a big picture topic on Ty Simpson. But this is what Todd McShay, on his Todd McShay podcast, joined by Kay Adams, had to say about what he's hearing in regards to Ty Simpson following the combine.
I'm a big Ty Simpson fan,
Okay.
despite the 6'1", the injuries, and the 15 starts. But I'm already starting to hear people like, could he go as high as Cleveland?
Really?
Sitting there at 6. And I hope for Ty Simpson he does not become a Cleveland Brown. They don't have the protection. They don't have the weapons. I'd love to see him with the Rams. They pick at 13 to the first of their 2 picks. But it's fascinating to see a guy who has gastritis, got beat up all year long. His number 1 wide receiver disappeared in Ryan Williams. They had like the 126th best rushing attack at Alabama, which like Bear Bryant's rolling over in his grave. And it all fell apart at the end of the year. But I think he's different. And I think that there's some teams out there that are just trying to be really quiet about it, because everyone's talking about Mendoza and then the rest of the quarterbacks suck. It's just not the deal. And Ty Simpson's going to go somewhere in the first, and it won't shock me if it's in the top 15.
So he mentioned as high as 6 to the Browns, didn't necessarily tie them to Cleveland. So I wanted to ask this question, big picture. When you guys watch the tape, and I know all 3 of you guys have studied the quarterbacks in this draft with a particular eye looking to see if there's anything there, do you guys see a franchise quarterback in Ty Simpson? Does he has the physical traits, the mental makeup, all the attributes you need to be a franchise quarterback on the next level from what you've seen, G? Because it was a year of a tale of 2 halves exactly for Simpson. Great first half, down in the second half. But do you see a future NFL franchise quarterback?
Without throwing no salt in the game, let's just be like, all right, if I'm sitting here watching this, I ain't even a Browns fan. I don't know none of this stuff. I'm just watching the games. So in the first part of the year, Ty Simpson was cooking. Sean King talks about how he, at one point in time, he was doing exactly what he needed to do, and he would have been a first-round pick. Actually, people was talking about him more. Him and Mateer was over Mendoza. Mendoza just kind of outlasted a lot of people. He just kept being Mendoza, and guys kept falling back, including Dante Moore. He played so bad in the game. He's like, yeah, I gotta come on back. With Ty Simpson, the problem with me is he sat for a long time. He waited his turn. He only has the 15 starts. Then you take a look at his skill set, right? 6'1". Kind of in that tweener.
Yeah, he teetered.
He tweener. And then you're like, okay, is he super athletic? Yeah, not really. He has a good enough arm. I think he throws well with anticipation. Is it a gigantic arm? No, not really. Even when I watched him come out of the game against Indiana, I go and watch the guy who came in behind him.
Lit it up.
And I said, who's this Thundercat? Who's this? Who's Lionel right here? He's like
6'5".
Thunder. I'm like,
rocket on the first
I'm
play.
like, okay. I'm like, Then I was like, he kind of, tailed off, and then he was like, I'm coming out. Now, I was like, he kind of came out on the downside. I think he reminds me a lot of guys like, he reminds me of Christian Ponder, or he reminds me of somebody like, what's the kid they drafted for the Jets?
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. Where if you squint hard enough and you look at, I can see if he'd be successful, but in terms of when I just go into the draft looking at what he did and be like, Ty Simpson is my franchise guy, I don't see it. I think he can be a good quarterback. I think if you look at it, he's lower than Bo Nix to me. I like Bo Nix better than I like him. And a lot of people is 50-50 on Bo Nix. Mm-hmm. So will somebody overdraft him? Yes, it's going to happen. There's only one quarterback at the top. Somebody going to take a flyer on him, Zach. What are your thoughts in terms of what you believe him to be? Is he more first half or more second half of the year?
Yeah, I think there's something there for sure. I think the first half showed that. It went tough. I think he got down to 190 pounds after the injury and the sickness.
Jeez.
And he's out there playing against really good competition with no running game every week. He's the son of a coach. There's nothing super special about him physically. More of a point guard than a franchise QB to me, right? So when I hear 6, I say no, especially because we're talking about Monken and mobility in the next build in this. But then you hear top 15, like that's totally different. Mm-hmm. And that's about the range because the Rams are in that range with Atlanta's pick. They need a guy. And then you're into the Jets and the Steelers and the Browns the second time. You're not into the top 10. Right? Things like that. So I think top 10 is crazy talk. I just stood next to this guy on Friday at his interview at the podium. He is impressive. He comes off like the son of a coach, like a guy who was meant to be a quarterback at Alabama and understands everything that comes with it. Do I think in any draft room they're saying this is the guy that gets us to the playoffs 6 times in 8 years? No. So in the quarterback supply-demand world that we live in, Ty Simpson's going to be a first-round pick, and top 15 would not stun me. But do I think he's even a consideration at number 6 for this Cleveland Browns team? Absolutely not.
Really quick before you go, Tyvis, what does his size look like when you saw him? Was it
6'1" and 210? Like, he looks big enough, but not in any way do you say
he's
wow.
not an Anthony Richardson physical specimen.
Big enough, okay.
Well, today is Hot Take Tuesday down in Columbus, and my hot take was I think he's going to have a better career than Fernando Mendoza will, due to the fact that I believe that the situation that he's going to land in, I do think the Rams will probably take him. I think that's the perfect place for him. I think that Ty Simpson was one of those guys where I got into an argument down in Columbus because I said he was a front runner over Julian Sang, and everybody was so mad at me when he was cooking.
Yeah, he was cooking.
And I think due to the fact that when you watch the tape, what I like about him is we hear so much about quarterbacks going through progression, running an NFL-style offense, going through progression. He does a phenomenal job of doing that. He goes 1, 2, 3 to 4 and still make the throw. And I just think that is what you're going to need to excel in the NFL level. Also, another thing that I like about him outside of Mendoza is he makes NFL throws. What do I mean by that? Well, people always talk about arm talent. And arm talent to me is not chuck the ball 80 yards down the field. That's not arm talent to me. That's just having a strong arm. Arm talent is threading this ball right over that linebacker, but right before that safety, putting it in that window across the middle of the field. He's got tape of him actually doing that. Fernando Mendoza's stuff has all been RPOs, back shoulders, hitches, slants, things like that. So I think that he will actually do better in the league than Fernando would. So could he be a franchise guy? To me, that depends on the situation he lands. If he lands in with the Rams and he sits a year behind Matt Stafford, learns, and Sean McVay teaches him the game, and then he takes off from there, and he's got Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, the tight Big B, and Puka, and all those guys. I think that's a perfect situation for him to be able to flourish in. But if you're telling me you're sending him to Cleveland, no, I don't think that he would be a franchise guy right away.
I think, man, so you mentioned a couple of things. Like, we talked about Mendoza, and we watched Mendoza. You are correct. The thing that scares me a little bit with Mendoza is they run so many doggone RPOs at Indiana. It's just like, and he's just a master at it. Like, anything you pick is wrong because he hands the ball off every single time when he need to hand it off. He hits the RPO guy anytime that is supposed to. You leave him open, he's throwing that right now, and it's on time and it's in rhythm. And then if it's third down, he's a master at throwing back shoulder fades. Like, it's just like he has mastered those 3 things. My thing is, are you going to build your offense around that, and can he do other things? The only thing I think he has that is better between Mendoza and Ty Simpson is, and it's kind of like the Shedeur Sanders thing. Like, they believe it. Like, when Mendoza come on the field, them dudes in the locker room believe it. Indiana, like, they don't got crazy receivers, crazy linemen, I mean, they are very solid across the board. But the thing that really jumps off the stage for Mendoza is he got them intangibles where it's just like a gangster rapper who, like, like, Tupac was so great because he really believed it. You like, man, Tupac did shoot that bus up. And he also said, "Dear Mama," and Brenda had a baby. You're like, man, this dude is conscious as heck. It was believable. Like, it wasn't the fact that he was the greatest rapper of all time, but it was like, when he said it, he believed it. And when Mendoza get on the field, for those 15, 20 minutes when they count during them plays, everybody on the field believe he going to make them plays.
So, Tyvis, you made a compelling case for Simpson that matches what he did in those first 8 games, 20 touchdowns and 1 interception. But then you said not 6. So is that a Browns thing?
Yeah.
Or you think he's more a top 12 prospect?
I think that the surrounding cast matters. I think Tom McShay was right with what he said. Like, going to the Browns is so much with protection and weapons. Like, I don't think he would flourish right now. I don't think it's going to be hard for anybody. Now, I have to see the rest of the plan. Obviously, we got to see free agency playing out and what other weapons they're able to get. That can change the whole situation. If you're telling me the Browns' offensive line is better and you're telling me that they got a weapon somehow, some way, then I would say, yeah, that's fine to take it back.
But at 6 and 24, you're not picking for September 26.
No.
You're picking for 27, 28. I mean, the guys need to play, especially if they're offensive line.
Yes. But I do think he's one of the quarterbacks that would thrive if he sit a year. I don't want to rush him in there.
That's fair.
I feel like for a guy, we just had the whole conversation about the 20 start things. How many people out of them 20 stars got rushed in to play right away?
Almost all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we don't have really an experiment on if that guy sat for a year. Like, the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, did not play his first year.
Right.
And everybody forgets that. They think he came in and just was this guy right away. He sat the entire first year and came and took over and took off the next year after that. Why more people can't live by that model? I think they want to. Obviously, circumstances and injuries play a big factor into why these guys get rushed in there. But I think with Matt Stafford on the way out the door and Matt Stafford coming off of an MVP season, like, you can be able to learn a lot from him before he says, I'm out.
What's the saying? Organizations fail these young players more than young players fail these organizations. I agree with that. But there's a lot of factors that go into it. I mean, Anthony Richardson was the screaming example. Do not put him out there. Right? Like, let him learn and then let the offense not just build around it, but let him and the offense evolve to one another. Instead, September, rookie year, you're out there.
I
think Bryce Young is like that now, and they was going back and forth with that. He started, he struggled. They put Andy Dalton in, then brought him back. He looked better. They brought Andy Dalton back in. Next time Bryce got in there, boom, they go into the playoffs. Got a chance to beat the Rams in the playoffs. The ball was placed a little bit higher. He would have had a better chance. But going toe-to-toe with the league MVP that year in a playoff game, like, it just shows you that you keep rushing these guys out there and they're not ready to play. But the problem is the league is so much on instant gratification. I need to see it now. We drafted you this high. We need it now. And a lot of these quarterbacks just not there.
What you're going to be interested to see as we put a bow on it is you're going to have a situation where you got Ty Simpson. There's more than one way to build a roster. You can trade, you can free agent, you can draft. There's going to be some people that have Ty Simpson, draft, or Anthony Richardson, flyer, or Malik Willis, signed to a long-term contract. And depending on where they see these guys' skill sets, there's 3 different paths that certain teams could take to fill the quarterback room. It's just it would be interesting to see which one of those paths they like the most.
Right. Like, you can make all those arguments, right? Or the Steelers going back to Aaron Rodgers and then drafting Ty Simpson.
Right.
Or the Steelers trying to get Malik Willis or Kyler Murray.
Right.
You know, we don't know.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I'm sure we'll be finding out the rest because it's going to be crazy.
I can't wait to see the first domino that falls.
Free agency starts when?
It won't be long.
March 11th.
Monday.
Technically, Monday's a tampering period.
If Anthony Richardson gets traded, it will be anywhere between Thursday and Saturday, and he's going to get traded. So it's here. Yesterday was a little earlier than the Browns have done it in the past, but almost every year they've been ahead of this.
And keep it locked. We will have it all right here on UCSS. Hit that notification.
Well, we're talking about the trade next. And you're right. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You get instant notifications when UCSS videos go live. Follow us on social media as well. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on socials. It costs you $0.00. Help spread UCSS out to as many people as humanly possible. Guys, we got some breaking news to start yesterday's show with the Browns trading for Tytus Howard from the Houston Texans, ESPN put out their trade grades today for the deal, and Seth Walder, not nearly as much of a fan of the deal as we were. Seth Walder of ESPN gave the Browns a D+ for the trade, gave the Texans an A-. The summary was Cleveland overpaid for an average offensive tackle. I cut a little snippet of the longer write-up. You can find it on ESPN.com. But Seth Walder said, in part, and I quote, whenever you're ready, Steve, I need to see it so I can read it. So the Browns are likely getting a below-average starter, and he isn't cheap. Howard is slated to make $17.5 million in 2026 and is now signing a 2-year, $45 million extension. Is this where they want to spend their resources, dealing a 5th-round pick to pay what might be an over-the-market deal for a below-average starter? That's not how I'd want to kick off the offseason. Zach, what did you make of the Tytus Howard trade, and do you believe the Browns overpaid? We said no yesterday. Seth Walter today says a bit of an overpay.
Well, the way he presents it there, I mean, he's winning his own argument. But is it the way you want to kick off the offseason, or is it the way you have to kick off the offseason? Because you have as many as 6 veteran offensive linemen walking out the door, and you didn't draft one last year, and the last one you drafted hasn't played at all, right? And so the first thing I look at, $17 million base salary, okay, that's going to be reworked. So the Browns just took another older player and pushed money down the road. Well, guess what? It's what they do. They're clearly not afraid of failing because they failed doing this. The money means nothing. They just push it down the road. So Tytus Howard has played guard. He's played tackle. He's been serviceable. What are the red flags? Well, Houston needs to fix their offensive line, and they're willing to give this guy up.
Right.
They just didn't want to pay him anymore. So the Browns say, at very least, this guy is an average guard for us. He might be our starting right tackle. He might be good. We're going to give him money to motivate him. What the track record of that is arguable. But the Browns look and say, as of this moment, we arguably have 0 real starting offensive linemen because the injury track record on DeJuan Jones is not good, and Luke Whippler may or may not be a starter. So now they have 1 more than they have yesterday. It's just the start. So in that, if you look at it from that way, then Seth Walter is dead wrong. I don't think he's totally dead wrong. As usual, the truth's in the middle, but it depends on how you look at it and then obviously how it works.
Eye of beholder. Perspective, Tyvis. Can beggars be choosers?
Right. It's a great question.
I mean, listen, the Browns had to do what they got to do. I think Zach's right. You got to get you a starter. I mean, you're losing all 5 guys. You got to get somebody in there that gets some stability. And I think the one thing that the Browns, when you say overpay, it's funny because the one thing the Browns value a lot out of their linemen is versatility. And he gives you that. He can play tackle or he can play guard, and he's good at both of them. And I think that when you look at that situation, it makes it funny because it still doesn't tell you what the Browns want to do at 6. You know, like people's like, well, it takes Francis out. No, it don't. If you get Francis, you can still put him at tackle or you can put him at guard, depending on which one he's willing to do, and you can put him at the other one. You can still go left tackle. Like, it's just so many things that you can do. But to me, the Browns understand. And it was funny because I talked to him last year when they drafted Mason Graham. The Browns understand that games are won and lost in the trenches. And when you hear AB talk about the Chicago thing, Chicago flipped their offensive line in 1 year, and we want to try to do something similar to that. It makes me think that they're spending this whole offseason really focused on fixing that offensive line and fixing the protection because that helps out. Think about last year when they played Buffalo. Mm-hmm. The Browns had a realistic chance to beat Buffalo. The reason they lost that game, outside of all the stuff that happened, but when you get to the final drive, Shedeur Sanders is going to make a throw, but Cam Robinson, I don't even think touched the guy. and I think it was a fumble or a fourth down or whatever it was. Yeah, didn't touch him. Like, we trying to evaluate the quarterback, and we can't even do that if the dude is getting blasted before he can even get the ball out of his hands. Right. So, like, to me, you have to fix the offensive line. Even if you go get Malik Willis, he gonna have the same issue. You go draft Ty Simpson or Anthony Richardson, it's still the same issue. So to me, it seems like they really are trying to fix the offensive line to be able to evaluate the quarterback position.
Hey, man, all you parents out there, Tyvis, I don't know if this happens to you, man. I use you as an example. I already used my car analogy. We're going to do something else. Hey, man, you're a newborn father, man. You wake up, baby crying. Baby ain't got no milk or no Pampers. You double out of here. You double, no milk.
No Pampers?
No Pampers, right? Your wife get up and say, oh, my goodness, the diaper bag is empty. And the baby is screaming. She like, we gotta go. You gotta go to the store. Mm-hmm. It's 12:30. You get in your car. You're going a little bit faster than you should. And the only thing is open is a 24-hour Rite Aid or Walgreens. You walk in there. You look around. You say, hey, man, where's the Pampers at? They said it's over there, man. You look at the Pampers size. Pampers is way too big. Two sizes too big. You're like, this is nasty work.
It's got to work today.
You gonna grab them. You gonna grab them mediums.
It's gonna work today.
You might even have to use some Depends. You might.
For sure.
You might have to get the adult versions. You get up to the register. Are you gonna ask how much them Pampers is?
No.
If them is $50 Pampers, you gonna swipe them Pampers, put them in the car, and you gonna tape up your daughter with duct tape and be like, at least she got a clean Pamper and some 2% milk. The Cleveland Browns is sitting there and they need milk and they need Pampers. That's receivers and linemen. And guess what? At this point, Zach just said it. The owner said last year wasn't good enough. You didn't win enough games, and the coach got fired, and everybody got moved out. Now you're the last man standing. You are in no position to ask how much these Pampers cost with this. No, you got to go do what you got to do. Hey, live to fight another day. You can find another bargain somewhere else. But in terms of what the Browns need, they gave a 5th-round pick. They got multiple of them. At least he's better than Livingston. He's better than Cam Robinson, and he can play multiple positions. So even if their evaluation is messed up, push come to shove, put him at guard.
Well, KT Livingston still would be the starting left tackle if the season started today.
Correct.
He didn't give up a sack last year?
That is correct.
And he started every game at right tackle?
That is.
He played guard
No, he
and
played all
tackle.
over the line last year, but he did not give up a sack.
And you know what we did? We cast him out.
Can I? What's
There
the
you
breakdown?
go.
What's the breakdown on guard tackle games for him last year?
I got snaps. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it
I
up.
think it was more guard. He was playing tackle, and then they traded Cam Robinson, who they gave $12 million to, and that was a bail. So they swapped a rookie from one side to the other, and they
So we
moved
got
him around.
Cam Robinson from them too.
Yes. Ty, I got the snap breakdown. Last year, he played 555 snaps at right tackle, 132 at right guard, and 334 at left guard.
Yeah, we're gonna take
So it's
that.
about 50-50 as far
Right.
as guard.
We-
So he's more of a left guard.
He was better, I think, a right tackle over the course of his career, but last year he played more left guard than he ever had. I think he came in as a guard, moved to tackle, and then came back to guard.
He was a tight end in college.
He got to
Moved to
Titus,
tackle.
there's one thing I
and bounced
noticed
around.
there
With
when
that
you laid that out.
17 and a half, he got to play tackle.
You know the one thing I noticed when you're laying that out? You're talking about the Miami tackle. You called him Francis because you didn't want to go near having to pronounce that last name.
Yeah, Mariaga. Mariaga.
Maui Nagoa.
Maui Nagoa.
Francis Maui Nagoa.
Can we just call him the Maui Invitational? We just gonna
Maui Nagoa.
Maui. Let's go.
I gotta remember this. Maui
Hey,
Nagoa.
Man, whatever, bro. Look, I'm sorry, bro. Can somebody tell me how to pronounce the guard's name from Penn State?
No, I'm trying to find that out.
Look,
So if you go to my laptop
Maui
right now,
Nagoa.
you got all these guys open, and sometimes they put on their profile page, there's a button, and they read it to you.
Oh yeah. I need that.
And so I played it a
need
million
that.
times over.
Man.
The Arizona State tackle.
Oh yeah, that's it. I just like.
I'm not even going to try to say. I said it on my way up here in the car
Maui
to myself,
Nagoa.
but I'm not even going to
Yeah,
try to say it.
But anyways, what about Francis?
So now,
Maui Nagoa.
so you know the thing about this is when you talk about Tytus Howard and who said this? Oh no, I was watching. So Tony Grossi and Chris Rose, I was looking at it when I was doing seeing what people thought about it, and Chris did say something that I thought was kind of poignant. Like, say for instance, how does this affect how they feel about Maui Noah and Fano? Like, you got a guy over here, but now if you went out and if they would have said those two dudes are definite starters for us day one. We got him drafted. We got him slated on our board.
Is Francis Maui Nagoa still considered the top?
On a lot of rankings, he is. He and Fano are very close.
He measured very well at the combine.
So,
But they said the guard from Penn State, the Vega dude, is like position be dang. He's like a top five player.
Yeah, that might be true, but guards just don't go that high. But as far as the tackles, it's Maui Nagoa and Fano that are at the top.
So, how many teams do you believe we've heard this about a lot of especially with Maui? That's what it's going to be, Maui. Maui said Maui is like, man. People think he's better at guard. How many teams that you talked to or saw would actually consider moving him inside?
Well, I think people thought that, but then his arms were plenty long when they actually measured him. So
that probably puts that to bed.
He has played right tackle though, whereas Fano has played both, and you just kind of work it out, like with Tytus Howard.
Fano's arms small.
They were shorter than Francis's.
And his little.
I know, because I just seen a quote. They had talked to him, and he said he don't care,
Yeah,
whatever it takes to be great.
I think the overarching thing here is their options are all still open. Like they could take either one of those guys at 6. They could trade down. They could take like Howard can play any of these positions, and you did make a small investment in him, but it was a necessary one. This wasn't going out and paying 60 guaranteed to like the top left tackle who's going to be the left tackle.
Cash him out.
Right?
Rashad Walker.
Yeah.
Cash him out.
I have questions about him.
Because of the Myles Garrett train thing, where he was like, run, Joe!
Listen, as Myles Garrett make everybody look like that, but you paying money. He's a decent.
Serviceable.
He's
right.
serviceable, but the amount of money they won't give him is
$20
crazy.
million years.
But the Monroe Freeland is a true left tackle.
He's a true left tackle.
And he's shooting up the draft boards right now.
Yeah, I mean.
So he won't be there at
athletic.
24.
No.
No.
He could be the pick at 6. I mean,
I
Howard
think he
could
will
be
be
your
the
right
pick at
tackle.
6.
How do you feel
My
about
prediction.
that?
You believe
Seems like
that?
an Andrew Berry pick to me.
If Francis or Monroe?
Monroe.
I mean, I would tell you that a lot of people just believe you would never take a right tackle at 6. Like that's too high. But again, this is such a unique situation. I don't think the Penn State guard is a bad pick if you think he's a great player.
They say he's supposed to be like a generational talent.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry, I'm gonna tell you what. When the draft comes around, we all gonna be sitting here looking around at each other because I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think nobody knows.
All
what
we
they gonna do.
need is G. Bush to say who he
Nope,
least
I'm
like
not doing it.
Like here's one
at
safe
6,
prediction,
and
right?
that's who it's going to be.
He made the Chicago reference, which was trade for 2 guards, sign a center, draft a right tackle in the 2nd round, right? So they've already traded for 1. So let's say next week they sign a guard. I think the draft is still open, and I think post-draft free agency, I think like all of these things, like we're all going to focus on who the starting 5 are. First of all, that never lasts. Secondly, like if you did have a starting 5 right now, DeJuan Jones, is he in it or not? He's never played a full season. He's played well, but he's never played a full season. So this is an evolving process. They got KT Levison last year on August 27th, right? Whether he's in the fold or not, like that's an opportunity to get it. Like it's going to go on. So they're going to flip this thing over. They're so desperate. Last December, they signed 3 different offensive linemen off other teams' practice squads. Probably none of them can play a lick, or their teams would have not let them go. However, the Browns were in a situation.
Well, if you signing them off the practice squad, the options is you either stay here and we give you a game check, or you're going to go.
But you lose them forever. You don't lose them for a week.
But we got to go to McNuggets March 10th. We'll know about Bitonio. Gut feeling, yes or no? Is he come back?
My gut feeling is no, but I think that the fact that they went public with their full court press tells me I could be wrong.
Okay.
Interesting. All right, 2 more topics we got to get to today, guys. Quick reminder, the Cleveland Charge are playing right now. They are beating the Windy City Bulls, and they're back in action Friday at home as part of their WNBA promotional night. You get your tickets at clevelandcharge.com. 7:30 tip-off. Fun, family-friendly fun for everyone at Public Hall. Head over to clevelandcharge.com for all your Charge ticket needs. All right, let's talk some Cavs for a second, guys. Tyvis, when the Cavs traded for Schroeder and Ellis, we played some defensive highlights, and you were like, oh, this dude's a dog.
Dude, a menace.
Gee, you had the exact same reaction seeing some of these defensive highlights from Keon Ellis. In 9 games with the Cavs, 9 games, Ellis has 15 steals and 14 blocks. He has become a defensive weapon.
Pretty good.
He became the first player since 2020 in a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform on Sunday against the Nets to have 5 blocks and 3 steals in the same game. Tyvis, when you look at Keon Ellis, how he's fitting into this roster, how he's finding his offensive game while his defensive game is way ahead in tracking of what the Cavs could have even imagined. What is his ceiling within this team's playoff rotation, and how good do you think Keon Ellis can end up being?
That man's 6'4".
6'4", 175 is his listed height. Wait.
That dude a dog, man. Hey, he could really be a true difference maker in some of these playoff games. You talk about some of these guys who get hot during the playoffs. You talk about, like a Tyrese Halliburton or something like that if he was playing. But like last year, let's take him for example. Like the Cavs haven't had a guy that you can just, go get that guy and take him out of the game. I think Isaac Okoro was probably the closest we had to that. But like, he was like that guy offensively that they're just going to leave open. So you couldn't have him on the floor as long. Not saying that Keon Ellis' offensive game is 10 times better than Isaac Okoro's, but like I think it's getting to a point where he's obviously going to have to show it in the postseason, but he's a guy that I feel like guys will at least make the attempt to go out there. And I got confidence that he can show up in the postseason and hit just a couple of shots. It don't have to be you got to go 5 for 5 from the three-point line. I mean, that obviously we'd take that all day long, but you have to at least put it in the defensive mind like, hey, we got to at least take a step towards this guy. And I think he gives you that. And it's something that as this season goes on, they're going to continue to give him those situations to let him show that he can be a knockdown shooter. And I think for some odd reason under Kenny with the Cavs, they do a really good job of helping guys increase their three-point shots. I know when you look at Evan, it regressed a little bit, but he's finding it back. And I think as this offense figures itself out, he'll find himself in the flow of things, and he'll just get that confidence to be able to take those shots. So Keon Ellis could be a huge difference maker in some of these playoff games. You know, you talk about like a Jalen Brunson or something like that. If you match up with some of those Tyrese Maxey, like you have a guy who can put in the game. Not saying that it'll be for the entire game, but in spurts where you could play him and he can be a huge factor on changing the outcome of that game.
I agree. You're not necessarily asking him to go 5 of 5.
Right.
But Isaac Okoro missed by 5 feet most of the time, right? So make a couple.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're guarding the other team's best player, even for a part of the game, then you're in consideration to be in the closing 5.
Yeah.
And like that's a heck of a good trade pickup for where they got him, and we know the way he's fit in 9 games. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I think if you take a look at, you know, he kind of falls into the category of guys like Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, where, you know, you've always, their minutes are going to be determined based on, hey, did you hit that corner 3 the last time they passed the ball to you? Hey, you know, hey, when they fouled you get into the lane, did you hit your free throws, right? Because those are things that are going to keep you on the floor. And I think that when you talk about it and you look at what Kenny Atkinson has to do is, it's going to be very, I'm going to say more interesting, but it's also more difficult for Kenny Atkinson in the playoffs now, because now you do have guys that are more viable, and he's going to have to go on field. Like, I think one of the things I liked the most when you went back and look at what Ty Lue did in 2016, some days it was Channing Frye. Some days he said, Kevin Love, we're going to have to sit you down. We're going to go with Tristan.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like, you know, getting 3 or 4 minutes here from Richard Jefferson, or even bringing, who they bringing off the bench and got a bucket. In Jason knows what I'm talking about.
Rodney Hood?
No, what is his name? Man, it's going to irk the heck out of me. But they brought him in game, I believe it was game 6, and Dante Jones. They bring Dante Jones in. Mo Williams came in the game and hit a couple big threes. So, you know, how do you get minutes for these guys? They got to go on field.
Yeah.
It has to be about a field. And who's going to give you the best opportunity for 3 or 4 minutes here and pulling the right levers and triggers to get those dudes on the floor?
Well, I got a good cross-sport comparison here. Last week at the Combine, they were talking to Monken, and he really just said this because he was tired of answering quarterback questions.
Right.
But he said, listen, I've never decided who plays. The players decide who plays. So if Keon Ellis comes in for 4 minutes and has a block, of steal, and a 3, he's deciding he's going to get a second shift.
There it is.
I mean,
exactly.
and then you know, one of the things McNuggets pointed this out last year, and this could don't jump off the bridge when I say this, okay? Because I know how y'all is out there. So look, just hear me out. Last year, one of the greatest trades that happened, I think it was last year, either last year or 2 years ago. The Thunder and the Bulls traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso.
Last year, yep.
Yeah.
And when you saw it, it's like, wow, what is that?
Fringe.
Alex Caruso turned out to be a defensive menace for the Thunder, and he was a huge part of why they was able to win the championship. Keon Ellis could be of that same thing. I don't know how good of an on-ball defender he is. Obviously, we're talking about a lot of blocks and steals, and a lot of his steals is in the lane. But on-ball, like Alex Caruso changed a lot of what the Thunder was defensively, and I think Keon Ellis can bring that same type of presence. Am I wrong saying that, McNuggets?
Slightly different kind of player. Caruso guarded Jokic in Game 7. Like, he guards up a lot better. Ellis, not necessarily big enough to guard up. Caruso's kind of like sturdier, a little more.
That's why I say I don't know how good
But
he is as an on-ball defender.
No, he's a good on-ball defender. He's at his best as kind of like the free safety. But I want to show you one. This was the Knicks game last week. Steve, you just let this play on loop. Keon Ellis starts on this play on Josh Hart. And watch the different rotations he makes on one play. Cuts off Cat, gets back, helps on Hart. Hart's going to find OG Anunoby, digs, recovers. OG drives. He sees the open guy in the corner, closes out. Shamet steps out of bounds.
Sheesh.
It's effort. Defense, 50% of defense is effort. Yes, it helps to have long arms. Yes, it helps to be laterally quick. Yes, it helps to be able to jump through the roof. Yes, it helps to understand tendencies. The other half is just effort. And when Keon Ellis is on the court, There is nobody out there that plays harder with more intensity and more effort on a possession in, possession out basis. And when you have someone on your side playing like that, it inspires kind of everyone else to pick it up because you can't be lazy when you have someone going 120%. He covers 4 guys on one possession here. 4 different guys, forces a turnover. It doesn't show up in the box score. It's not a steal. It's not a block. He gets no credit in the traditional box score for a play like this. But he single-handedly stops 3 different drives from the Knicks and forced a turnover. It's incredible what he's done so far in his early Cavs tenure.
At certain points in time, I know Detroit is a really good defensive team, but I don't see a reason why the Cavs should not be the best defensive team in the league. I don't. If you look at it pound for pound, like James Harden is bigger. If it comes down to effort,
James Harden ain't
it comes down to effort.
Better, but
he's been better. Donovan Mitchell is a serviceable defender, but when you take a look at Allen,
undersized.
Yeah, he's a little undersized. But when you take a look at Tyson, Allen, Mobley, Keon Ellis,
Dean Wade,
Dennis Schroeder is a pest on the ball. Like in the playoff series,
Naquan Tomlin.
The problem, by the way, McNuggets, I'm starting to see with Naquan Tomlin. The problem is, boy, that when he get the ball, he's one of them dudes. Hey, he's what we call a right back. When a right back is when you get the rebound, give it right back. Right back. There we go. You get the ball. He willingly is like, yeah, take this off of my hands. I'm gonna go right down there and move around a little bit.
You gotta put him on. He ain't getting his own bucket.
He fooled the heck out of us with the little corner threes he hit. He hit about 5 of them. We said, "Oh, you got a sniper badge?" And
Naquan does a lot of good things. If you look at the overall 3-point shooting efficiency from the corner, I hate to say this, I like Naquan, but numbers are numbers. I'm not making it up. He's in the bottom 5. Mm-hmm. He's one of the 5 least efficient 3-point corner shooters in the NBA right now.
He hit like 3 or 4 of them. And then they stick in your mind forever. And then when you mix that with the offensive rebound and dunks, you're like, oh, man, this dude is about to be a problem. And then it was like...
Remember, we kept saying he the second best. It was a point of the season.
A good shooter always believes he's open.
Yeah.
A bad shooter is always open because other team wants him.
Yeah, but that's by default.
That's fair.
That is by design, my good sir.
I always laughed, and it's going to be it feels like I'm throwing a shot here at Isaac Okoro, but I'm not. But we were getting arguments on the show, and people would online be like, Okoro's always open. I'm like, there's a reason he's always open. Teams want him to shoot those shots, especially in the playoffs. He became a good regular season 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he did.
And in the playoffs, and Dean Wade in the same ilk,
yeah.
There's a reason those guys are wide open in playoff series because the other team is saying, you're going to let one of those guys shoot? Right now, Naquan falls into that category until he proves, and he certainly can, until he proves he can get out of it.
Is it obviously I don't know. Have you been in the playoffs when you was in Emerson?
We did. Yeah, we made the NCAA tournament one year.
Did they leave you open?
I was like the 12th guy on that team, so yeah, I didn't play.
He was always open.
So you think they would have left you open?
No, the one thing I did was shoot, so I probably wouldn't be a guy they left open, but I was.
Is it really that big of a difference in the playoffs and regular season when it comes to the 3-point shot?
Yeah. I mean, you're walking through your defensive rotations in every situation.
Hey, you know what I do to pressure? Laugh at it. I wish you would leave me open. I might miss 5 of them, but this 6th one going in.
They'll take that result, Tytus. If you shoot 17%, they're going to win.
I just need that first one to fall, and then I'm on. It's on from there.
You know, it's so crazy is like if you watch professional basketball players, none of them miss. Like people be talking about how people is garbage. I'm like, bro, if Bronny James came to your local rec, he's not missing.
Man, when I see
he's not going to miss it all.
When they showed that clip last year of Mitchell Robinson hooping at Lifetime, and he was pulling threes, going to the cup. I was like, the same dude who be in the game. They get the rebound and say, here, take it, get it out of his hand.
There's I don't
levels.
know.
G, when you say there's levels, that's your famous quote. The difference in levels of how good these guys in the NBA are. Even the 18th, 19th, 20th guy who gets called up on the Utah Jazz because they've tanked, they've sat players, they've called up G League guys, E10s.
Right.
They're so good. They're so good. Go to practice. Watch Jared Allen shoot threes. Jared Allen's like a 70% three-point shooter.
He's not going to miss. Like, they started.
I see him shoot it in the warm-ups. He shot a moving three. I had to look like that's Jared Allen doing that.
At open runs back in the day, they used to. So if you play high school basketball, you know what I'm saying? Like, you come back from college, they be having these runs where it's like, okay, some guys that, may have been in a training camp, some guys overseas, you know what I'm saying? Dudes play D1. So it's all these people. And I remember coming back my sophomore year, they're like, yeah, we they started saying, hey, we going to hoop down here on a Saturday. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll be there. And I walked into the gym, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming back to this no more.
I swear, hey, bro.
I'm not coming back no more. This ain't fun.
That's a fact.
Ain't it a fact?
Bro, I was hooping with somebody, and you know how when you get back into the swing, it's like certain levels. It's certain hoop sessions where it's like, I can't go there. I'm not ready for that yet. Man, I went to one of them hoop sessions where everybody was, I'm talking about hand in his face, money, covering his face. Cash. And I'm like, I'm done. This ain't my session. I'm going with the other dudes down a little bit lower that's missing shots.
And the wind is different. Like, people like, what you mean wind? No, listen, bro. Like, you be in shape because you be like, oh, I play football, we work out, we lift weight, but it's a different type of build. Like, their wind is different. They running up and down the court and it's light. They jumping high. They going up two hands easy. I'm like,
coming back here. I got to get back in the gym before I come mess with you.
Nah, it's levels. I'm cool.
All right, we got one last topic to get to. If you want some more Keon Ellis defensive breakdowns, head to our YouTube page at an Ultimate Cavs show this morning where we broke down 5 specific plays from Keon Ellis' first 9 games that showcase his defensive premise, his highlights, some steals, some blocks. You can find it on our YouTube page right now. All right, last topic of the day, guys. The Browns have officially broke ground on the new Brook Park Dome that is set to open in 2029. Since the show began back in 2022, we have not had a ton to celebrate when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. It's been a lot more bad guys than it has been good. So, G. Bush, will the Dome change everything? Is this simply a situation where the Browns have been cursed by a downtown stadium that is under some sort of witch spell that refuses to allow them to have and host a home playoff game? And now that the ground has been broke on the Dome, is the Dome going to change all their fortunes?
Man, come on, man. As much as the Kool-Aid I be drinking, and I stay with Kool-Aid at all times. Bro, look, you need players.
Jesus.
You need coaches.
That's what you want to say.
Come on, man. You can't just have no stadium. Now, listen, I will say something about this. What funny thing about life and momentum is, I remember watching the Indians at one point in time, and my dad used to take us to Municipal Stadium, and they used to be in the old American League East, and they was losing 100 games a year, and I was just like, we ain't never gonna win ever. And then all of a sudden they're like, yo, you know they getting Jacobs Field, and then they got new uniforms, and it was nice. I'm like, they got alternates now. It just don't say Cleveland. And then they're like, oh, you got the best ballpark in the world. And then 94 came around, and they had a bunch of young players that was homegrown, and they was exciting. They hit home runs. They played with attitude. And they had a strike season that year. But at the end of that year, guess what? We was in first place with the White Sox. And I said, I can't even believe this. Then the next year came around in 95. And it was like a completely different world. I couldn't tell you. I just didn't know what happened. They was good. They played with swag. The city was on fire. Was it all due to the stadium? No.
Yes.
I mean, they had Tommy Bell, Baerga. They had Ramirez in the pipeline. They was cooking. They got Hershiser and Dennis Martinez and guys around the fringes, some veterans that we knew. But
what years was this?
94, 95.
Oh, I was just born.
That's
94,
wild.
94.
Listen, Zach, that's crazy. But synergy.
I was here, though.
Yeah, I was here. Synergy is a thing. Sometimes you can get a new field. I think it'll be bigger for the city, more excitement for the city. But you still got to have players. Yeah. You got to have ball players, bro.
This place is going to be unbelievable, right? What does this organization do? They spent, and they have spent decades on this, right? But it's comical when they put up the tweet, this is for Northeast Ohio. This is for Northeast Ohio if you want to pay $120 to park.
Right.
Nothing's going to change with the organization.
Right.
And they got plenty of years to change that and prove me wrong. But we also got a 26-year track record and 14 years with this ownership, and it's crash landed, and it's a complete joke. And so move the Cleveland Browns out of Cleveland, which is a complete joke. So it's going to be beautiful, but I'm not real excited.
I got to keep my job for 3 years.
I told you, Tyvis, just let me
They're going to build a studio in that.
Hey, could you imagine? I'm going to do the pre and post game show right there. I don't even think I got to leave. Like, that's going to be, I got to keep my job for 3 years.
It's so, you know what's so crazy? It's wild that we talk about some of the ticket prices. I mean, that prices a lot of people out of going. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. And I say this all the time. If they want to sell some tickets, I know if I know a person that if they turn out to be good, people will travel to come watch the Cleveland Browns.
We talk about Malik Willis again?
Yeah, look, right? Anthony Richardson. Throw them listen, if you want to, that's why I always consistently say, like, if you want a lottery ticket, I mean, people
go to Browns games, Garrett. Like, people get pumped up to go to Browns games even for this product.
Yes, they will go.
You give them some great players and a consistently good product, not even consistently great.
Because we talked about earlier, like the wrap it in and figure out all this tied in what we saw about in the beginning. We talked about gym shoes and all them different things. People got money for what they priority is, right? Some people's is gym shoes. Some people is when they go out to a meal, they don't look at the menu. And they about to have a bottle of wine, and they about to be here for 3-4 hours. It's like some people spend it on cars. They get a new car every 3 years, right? But some people, the Cleveland Browns is their life. Like, they just, that's why we always talk about how we gonna give them up. When you from here and this is your team you root for,
that's right.
You don't give it up. You just go through eras where you might be a little more mad at each other at that time.
Through the years, I've been to every NFL stadium, right? A lot of them, the old one and the new one. And first of all, it's crazy how just this one was built just 27 years ago, and it's ancient.
Ancient, right? But
there are some incredible facilities in LA, in Vegas, in Houston, even though that's getting old. I'm not naming them all.
That's crazy.
You got a favorite?
Well, Green Bay stands on its own because it's so unique there. But like the LA Stadium, unbelievable. The Atlanta and Minnesota, the new ones, unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But this one is going to be, from the stadium standpoint, it's going to be top notch. They're going to spare no expense. It's going to be top notch. Everything for media, for fans, for players, for the experience around it. Right? It's going to be unbelievable.
That shopping and restaurant area look like it's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, they've taken a little bit from New England. A little bit from LA because they had to build it down on the ground. In LA, it's the old Hollywood Park horse track, and they just dug down. You walk in, you're on level 5. It's a pavilion. Now you can't, you got to enclose it here in Cleveland, but because of the airport next door, it's going to be the same thing. So you're looking down on the field. It's awesome, and like even Minnesota's been open now for several years. Right. So think about what the technology is going to be like. They're going to have the best of everything. So they just need to put a good product in there.
In terms of the field,
they better go to the playoffs in 28, and it better be a home game.
No.
That's the way. I ain't hearing what you saying. Listen,
that's the way you do it.
You go out if you gonna lead downtown. One thing that's never happened is a home playoff
outside.
Game. One last time.
This stadium, this stadium has never hosted a playoff game.
One last time, one last hoorah. They gotta get a playoff game. Like that should be motivation for the next. Bro, 2 seasons.
Look, this sucks to say, bro, but I look at a lot of people that I know, like when I was younger, right, that were diehard Browns fans, even relatives and family members, right, that we used to huddle around a little TV and watch. And I look back and be like, man, when I was young, I thought they was gonna live forever, and now them people is gone, been gone. So to look at it and to say, wow. We've been that long since they came back, and we ain't been nowhere close to a championship. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm envious because people be talking about playoffs. This is my squad. I don't even know what I would do with myself on Super Bowl Sunday, getting ready to watch the Browns or seeing the uniforms on that TV.
You don't know what you would do?
No.
I do. Steve Becker would have a live show, UCSS watch party, where you would be sitting right here in this chair, and they'll roll that TV in right there, and you watch it. And I'll be at the game.
No. I'm gonna let him know we negotiating 4 years in advance.
What you mean?
The negotiation is I will do a
Oh,
watch party live.
You think you go into the game?
Oh no, I'm going. Or I'm gonna make up or I'm gonna be sick.
McNugget's gonna be sitting right there next
Yeah, right. Or I'm gonna say I'm sick and then go.
I'm sick.
And they be like, but G, we saw you on TV talking to Tyvis. I said, bro, I got better. I took some NyQuil. I'm sick. I'll get a doctor's note. I know my doctor. You can't refute that. I got to go somewhere for warm weather. I had a breathing disease.
If you talk about the Super Bowl or the playoff game,
bro, both of them.
Well, the playoff game, if it's a whole playoff game, you can go to the Super Bowl. You go into the Super Bowl.
I'm sick. Or I hurt my leg or something.
We have to be at the Super Bowl.
I got to be there.
As a show, we have to be there.
Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way I cannot go.
Everybody
and
going.
The
Browns in the Super Bowl. This whole town canceling everything and going.
But I
to the
would
Super
be
Bowl.
sick to my stomach though, Zach, because I would be too nervous. Like I couldn't be functional. Like what do you mean? We gonna talk about the keys to the game? I was nervous in COVID when Baker went to Pittsburgh. I was locked in there with a mask on and a hoodie in my own house by myself. Nobody in there in a little one-bedroom apartment post-divorce. It was nasty work. I only had 3 channels, and I was watching Baker. They snapped the ball over Ben Roethlisberger's head. I got up screaming. And shout out to the people that didn't call the cops. It was some rowdy dudes in the basement. But
this was a duplex.
Oh no, this was like, listen, this was almost a bando. This was like this was trap. Trap or die, bro.
This was a 2-family home.
Man,
and you
bro.
Up top and man, people down.
So it was crazy.
People stayed in something like that. I know that life.
Yeah, and it was so bando-ish that they used to be on Sundays. They used to come give groceries away for free to the people at the bottom of the spot. It's lower income. They was like, listen.
Was you squatting?
Man, nah, I wasn't squatting, but they
squatting?
It was subsidized housing. Bro, I was coming off the divorce, bro. Half of nothing is crazy.
He was only married for like a month.
Oh, that's the crazy part. I was married a month.
What is it, a null or something like
bro,
that?
No, listen.
That ain't how it worked?
Nah, we didn't get no lawyers, but I still had half, bro. Like, it was crazy. Like, I got the old car. I had to pay for appliances. It was nasty work.
How long was y'all together before the marriage?
Man, it was about probably like, I want to say about 27 months. You know it's bad when you start breaking it down to months.
2 years and a few months.
Man, bro, it was nasty. So I was there posted. So COVID happened. Baker, they snapped the ball over their head. I said, listen, I was sitting there.
Hilarious.
I was emotional. I'm like, this is crazy.
You cried?
Man, come on. I cried when the Cavs won in 16.
That was the only time that I seen grown men hugging and crying.
Bro.
Grown men hugging and crying.
I would be emotional, bro.
There weren't grown men hugging and crying after you guys won the Natty?
I ain't.
That's the Buckeyes, bro. They cheat.
I'm about to say that. The Buckeyes,
they grow up like
that's to be expected.
They only cry when they don't win.
Yeah.
Like it ain't like it is to be expected. There's a shrine of Woody Hayes, and they just let them get that off. So like
at the bar by my house, there's grown men hugging and crying when Ohio State plays Rutgers.
That is right. They might like that.
It might have been some hugging,
like
but I don't know.
that. It's like that.
I don't know about the crying, big because I don't do that. I don't do that.
You're allowed to cry.
Yeah, it's okay, Ty. It's okay.
I have not cried since I was like 11 years old. That's
Man,
the last time I cried.
We used to, what we used to do back in the day? We was from OU, and we realized, listen, we couldn't be we go from OU. They be like, man, we go down there and visit. All my people used to go down there, man. So we go down there, and I'm seeing Mike Dawson, all these other people. So I used to lie. I'd be like, yeah, I'm a new recruit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a recruit. I'm a 5-star I'm a 5-star.
Why,
and I used to change it up.
Wait, but when I walked in, it was all this OU. Why you didn't tell me you was just from OU?
No. That ain't the way it worked down there. That ain't the way it worked down there. You think it's called McNuggets? There's levels to this. If one of them dudes walk in with a jersey on, you're out of here.
That's
Shout
a
out
fact.
to Lydell
Well,
Ross.
they don't need to wear no jersey.
No,
they got money nowadays.
So now,
you can see it when they walk through.
What we used to do is I used to be like, yeah, man, Ryan Hawk. Ryan Hawk. Yeah, that's my roommate, right? But then that wouldn't even work. He was from Miami. I had to be like, yeah. I'm with AJ Hawk and them. You know, I know him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? AJ Hawk, you know what I'm saying? Light, you know what I'm saying? We down here, I'm a recruit from Texas, man.
All right, we got super chats to wrap up today's show. Very fun show, guys, and some fun super chats. Jeffrey Anderson says, "Sir, G. Bush,
Yes?
did you pick up the knife?" No idea what that's in reference to.
What?
Pick up the
No
knife.
idea.
What you mean?
You drop it.
Oh, is he in reference? I was doing a food blog, right? And I was cutting a ribeye steak, and it fell. And
The steak or the knife?
the knife.
Yeah, I be seeing it on my YouTube. It's you and Rosie going out to different Cleveland restaurants.
Oh yeah, man. It's called. I'm going to every. We're gonna go to every restaurant in Cleveland.
Okay.
So he's just like.
I gotta check it out. I
You
seen
got-
it.
yeah.
I popped. I'm like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, check it out, man. Make sure you gotta
So
check
did
it
you
out.
pick up the knife?
Yeah, I did after we got done shooting. Like I did pick it up. I did wipe it off, but I did use it.
Okay.
3
next
second
one.
rule.
Brett Watson says, "G. Bush,
Yes.
Skechers and melanin go together, my brother."
I don't know about the shred. I don't know. Man.
Oh, Earl, did you see Earl text?
No, what'd he say?
He said if I walked in here with Skechers on, he said he'd go buy me some shoes. 'Cause, something I must be doing bad.
Yeah, bro. After your third child, we it ain't in the budget no more. We'll go half on it and get you something, bro. But them Skechers, no.
Hey, I have no problem with parents that if the parent is bummy but their kids is fly, I respect that. Like if I'm wearing Skechers, but if my kids is dressed to the nine, like I
I'll
respect that.
text you guys a picture of our laundry/shoe room, right? There's my 2 pairs of gray Nikes, and then there's the kids' basketball shoes.
See?
So you didn't tell us that your kids got the J's? They got Jordans.
He's got a ridiculous amount of shoes.
See?
Well, you're
I respect
that counts as you.
I respect
That's
that.
you, my man.
No, they're not me.
That is by default, by the reciprocation rule. That's your seed.
It's
Your-
osmosis.
It's by his, like right.
It's swag osmosis.
That you assimilated his J. You had to buy him. You definitely. It's like tax laws. You definitely can claim that.
All right, well, G, speaking of tax laws, this next one you're going to enjoy. Team Helmet Full says, "G. Bush ain't lying about dating an immigrant. My wife will ask me, ¿Por qué necesitas Jordans?"
Yeah,
I say, "Because I do. Take them Costco joints back
That what is
ASAP."
Jordan?
That's why do you need Jordan?
Like what are these? Like what are those? Like that was one.
Wait,
of
he
the
said he'd take the Asics back. Asics on the come up right
them
now.
out
I
of
said,
here.
take those Costco joints
Costco.
back.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
Yeah, no, he right.
Under no circumstances can you be in Sam's Club. No, but you can buy a Sam's Club little coat though.
Dude, they got shoes on sale.
Yeah, they do.
Last time I was in Costco, there were Skechers.
Right.
They sell Skechers in Costco.
I'm pretty sure.
Man.
I gotta go up there.
Yeah, they got.
I went to Costco for the first time in my life a couple weeks ago.
change your life.
I'm
man.
going on the way
Changed
home.
Everything.
Hey man,
Everything.
They got granola bars. They got 70,
Body
75.
They had TVs. They had
Yeah.
auto body shops.
Yeah.
I be in there moving around. Like
I guess people knew that. I didn't.
Yeah.
My bad.
I
The
felt-
Real Night King says, "I get my clothes and shoes from Walmart or Family Dollar. Still be killing it. It's all about how you put together a fit."
That's a fact,
Hey,
and I
hey,
actually
hey,
respect that because that
hey.
means you really good at
Hey,
fashion.
it's all about how you put that on.
That's
you
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Like you can
You can go to the thrift shop and put something.
It's
together.
a lot of rich, non-classy dudes out here with the gear. I'm like, bro, how do you have the bag and you look like that? That's not.
I'm
work.
actually envious of people that be like, yeah, I went to the thrift shop. I paid $2 for this, but I put it all together. And it's like
Clean.
They be like, I cut this, cut the back, like blah 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 blah. I'll be like, all right, did your thing on that.
Brody's bottom line says, "As a former point guard, it's our job to get people touches, and everyone knows Detroit can't shoot." K-Stowe says, "Bring in whoever. Shador will be the day one starter." DB Dog 21 says, "Help me understand. 6 games to determine that Malik Willis is good and Shador is not is crazy. $40 million based off 6 games is worse than the big contract they gave Peyton Hillis after 1 season. That would be the move of a dumb general manager."
What if today they came in and said, hey, we extended Shador Sanders. We'll give him we gonna give him a 3-year deal. We're gonna extend him right now.
People will go crazy over that.
That's why I just in my
Crazy. They go like that's not the right answer either.
that's why I have such a trepidation. It's just I don't know, man. Now I'll take Richardson. He sold me on the Richardson thing. Like before, if you would have came in and said that, I'm like, oh, what are y'all doing? But now,
So when I
low.
said it to you a month ago,
he just shrugged it off.
You wasn't hearing it.
See, believe it or not, I'm a very reasonable person. I take the information given to me, and then I always say, don't even listen to me 100%. Don't even listen to me.
It's like the Kawhi Leonard when he was leaving the Raptors and was going to either the Clippers, the Lakers. A material change happened. Changed your mind.
When I knew the price tag, I said, "Oh, it's like I'm not a big fan of Jordan 1."